epic comeback.
He was just really disappointed the way the Kings have shown they can pretty much beat anybody. They haven't beaten everybody, but they've shown they can play with anybody. They can beat anybody, but they continue to beat themselves. And down the stretch, yes, give the Suns a ton of credit. But it's funny, when the Kings were way ahead, I was thinking teams that play the Kings know that the way they defend, you always have a shot. And then the Kings down the stretch, the way that the offensive dysfunction, turnover after turnover, it was really bad. And this is not a really young team. I was very disappointed the way they folded up down the stretch. And I don't know why. I know Phoenix went small, but I don't know why the Kings didn't run the offense through Sabonis a little bit more down the stretch.
Well, and it's one thing I asked Mike Brown afterwards, and I'm not sure if he understood my question, but I said, when they did go small, did you want to take advantage of that mismatch? Or just run your regular offense? Because what happens a lot of times, and we've seen it in the NBA, you're so busy trying to exploit a mismatch, you forget about your regular offense. It can knock you off out of your. And so I wanted to, get Mike Brown's take on that. He sort of misunderstood me and was like, "Well, we ran it through Domas, But I thought the difference was they ran the offense through Domantas Sabonis, but on a low block. Usually we see him at the foul line. Mm-hmm. And I thought, give Phoenix a lot of credit. They took advantage. But like I said, I felt at times Sacramento was trying to take advantage of the mismatch, one, and B, too much one-on-one ball down the stretch. Too much hero ball. Malik, De'Aaron, all the guys just trying to, win the game by yourself instead of, like you said, run your offense. Mm-hmm. That's what got you there.
Yeah, I thought that you understand why they want to win. But you mentioned Malik and De'Aaron. To me, they unintentionally, but down the stretch, they kind of hijacked the offense. You had, Domas was 2 for 2 in the fourth quarter. And I know you're not crazy about the box score stuff, but I noticed this. Keegan was 1 for 1. Vezenkov was 1 for 1. So those three guys in the fourth quarter, 4 for 4. But they didn't get touches. They didn't get the ball a lot. Domas, especially when they needed a basket. It was 113, 109 or whatever. Go to Domas, and he scores. And right. you were so excited. Hey, the teardrop, he scores. It's like, hello. And they went away from that. Give the Suns credit for the way they defended, but I thought the Kings just didn't play very smart. And it was disappointing to me.
Yeah, and here's the telltale sign, and I agree with you. I think what you saw was De'Aaron and Malik feel like they're the closers on this team.
Yes.
And so they tried to close it out.
Right.
But at times it was, like you said, because they really, didn't do it in the flow of the offense. It was too much one-on-one ball. And so here's a telltale sign. After 3 quarters last night, I got the box scores. Okay, I can look at the box. It's okay. All right, I just want to make sure.
I love box scores.
They had 30 assists on 38 made baskets.
Wow.
So you're talking about an assist percentage higher than 75. You're at about 77. That's how you win. In the fourth quarter, they had 4 assists on 8 made field goals, basically a 50%. That's not Kings basketball. To me, that's a little too much one-on-one. And the fact that you only had 8 field goals in the entire quarter, 21 points. And Phoenix isn't a good defensive team. No. That's what upset me. And let's keep it real, Whitey. And I'm about to be on one right now.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant should not be able to stop Domantas Sabonis. Even if you do try to exploit that mismatch, Domas has to take advantage of that. So the fact that he only took 2 shots, and I thought he got the ball ample enough times, he just didn't do anything with it. Whether it's Phoenix doubling him, Durant playing great defense or whatever, he has to find a way to be more effective when having that kind of mismatch.
Fair enough. Here's what Durant said after the game. And it's funny because he was asked, how did you guys come back? And he said, I don't know. But he said, they are a team that likes to play a free-flowing movement offense. So when you can disrupt that, they turn into a different team. We pressured Domantas Sabonis a little bit more. We switched so many screens and made them play one-on-one. Yeah, that happened. But I think a lot of that was the Kings just willingly that was the way they decided they wanted to play. It wasn't just the Suns forcing them to do that. That was the way the Kings started to play, and they got away from the way that they need to play. It was disappointing to see.
Very disappointing, and this is what concerns me about this team. Remember last year, every close game, we thought they were going to make the play. We thought they knew how to close out. it seems like at times, especially these last two games, they don't know how to close out.
No.
These are looking like the old Kings, imploding,
Right.
turning the ball over,
Right.
missing free throws. That's not who we are. That's not who we were last season. You got the reigning clutch player of the year, and De'Aaron Fox last night goes 3 of 8 in the fourth quarter. Give Phoenix credit, but I thought Fox, Sabonis, the whole team really let Phoenix off the hook on that defensive end. Like you said, run your offense. You were getting whatever you want. You were picking them apart. And, you know, it was highly disappointing. I left that arena last night stunned. Like, what can I say after a game like that? And you could feel it with the team. You could feel it with the players there. I think everybody was stunned at what happened.
Here's another thing that was stunning in the fourth quarter. And speaking of box scores, I have the fourth quarter box score. I don't advise anybody.
I don't
to
need
look at
the
it.
box score.
You don't want to look at the fourth quarter box score because it's But the Suns in the fourth quarter, they were 7 of 11 from the 3-point line. 7 of 11. The Kings can't do that from the foul line.
Ouch. No, you're right, man. And that's been an Achilles heel all season, though. And I said it yesterday during our show. Kings went into last night 29th in 3-point defense. I can guarantee you defending the 3 line was on the scouting report. That was something that
we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. You got to stop their 3-point shooters. Grayson Allen looking like Steph Curry out there, Ray Allen. Forget Grayson. He was Ray Allen last night. And I think that's probably one of the most disheartening things about what took place last night. You mentioned the 7 of 11 from 3-point line in the fourth quarter. Overall in the game, Phoenix doesn't take a whole lot of threes usually. That's not their game. Last night, 17 3-pointers, 46%. It was on the scouting report. It was talked about. And it didn't get it. It's like the teacher is telling you what's on the test, and all of a sudden you're studying for something different. And that's what happened last night. I'm still blown away by it.
And not to belabor the point about free throws, but yeah, fourth quarter Suns were 7 of 11 from the 3-point line. For the game, Sacramento from the foul line was 7 for 12.
And we talked about this yesterday. When your 2 best players are a 60% free throw shooter and a 73% free throw shooter, they're going to go to the line the majority of times. De'Aaron Fox last night, 3 of 5. Domantas Sabonis, 2 of 4. In a 2-point game, 5 missed free throws. Think about it. You go 10 of 12, you win that game last night. You couldn't even go 10 of 12. You shot 58% from the free throw line.
What did you think, Kyle, of Coach Brown's post-game comments? You were there.
Yeah.
I just, I felt, he said, it's a learning experience. To me, that's one of the things that Coach says when he doesn't really want to tell you what he's thinking. Because, we've heard that before. And I know there's coach speak and there's things coaches say to fans. We're not always going to be privy to what they're really thinking. But, learning experience. Yeah, but I know he had to be just kind of confused by what happened. What did you think of his post game?
You could tell he was bothered by last night's loss.
Yeah.
He was, he was shocked. And I've never seen Mike Brown like this. I told you, I asked the question and he sort of shot back at me. Maybe he didn't understand my question. Here's a little defensive, I thought, in that exchange. But here's the thing. We could talk about learning. This should not have been a learning kind of game because the scouting report was there. We told you what was going to be on the test.
Yeah.
Well, how do you learn from that? They only have themselves to blame. They came out, they played extremely well for 3 quarters, and then that fourth quarter, it looked like the crowd, the energy, the moment got too big for them. And, Brad Stevens used to say something in Boston. You got to hit singles. The Kings were looking to hit home runs every time. Malik Monk going 1-on-1. Fox with that 3-pointer with Kevin Durant draped all over him. It's like, dude, come on now. Run your offense. Get to the paint. Attack. Keep doing what got you the lead. And they just were looking for the knockout blow, and it never came.
That 3-pointer you just referenced, to me, that was the one play that I remember above all the other ones. When I saw that, I realized something's really wrong here because, as you know, you had You at the time, it's 113-106.
Mhm.
And here come the Suns, right? Here come the Suns. But you still have a 7-point lead, and you have the ball. It's like 2:37 left. So even though you've given up, you've gacked up a lot of points here, you're in good shape, right?
Yep, you're still good.
Yeah. So Fox has the ball. You get a switch. Durant comes out on Fox, and then I think it was Allen on Sabonis. I could be wrong, but I think that's what the switch was. So, it's basketball 1A. If you're De'Aaron Fox, you have, I have a mismatch, A. B, I've got a bigger guy on me that I should be able to get around. So what does he do? He takes a fall-away three that gets blocked.
Yeah.
They go down and make a three on the other end. That was the one play that stood out to me. I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's almost like the Kings just stopped playing.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I don't know if De'Aaron was trying to be too cool. Like I said, he was looking for this dagger shot or something like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like, first of all, you got Kevin Durant on you. Let's talk about Kevin Durant, who he is. They list him as 6'10". He's more like 7 feet. Long wingspan. So whatever three-pointer you're going to attempt, he's long enough to challenge it. One thing you do have the advantage of is their speed.
Yeah, I know.
And you're settling for these long, deep threes, and it was
a lazy three.
Yeah, it was sort of a casual ho-hum, I didn't see the sense of urgency from De'Aaron on that play, and it's just disheartening because they're coming off this road trip, 2 games arguably they should have won. You're up 4 with 20-something seconds left to Milwaukee. You should win that game. You're up 22 with 8:22 left to go in the fourth in Phoenix. You should win that game. And now here you are, starting today in 7th place in the Western Conference.
I know.
7th place.
Play-in
You
position.
got Dallas ahead of you in the Dallas, Luka Doncic, Kyrie, they're ahead of you in the standings. I'm upset, Whitey, because here's the thing. Things happen. I understand. I thought for the most part they played a good game. But what we saw last night reminded me of past Kings teams before last year. Instead of finding ways to win games, we're now finding ways to lose games here as of late.
Right. We are beyond the point where the Kings should be learning from their late game mishaps. Take a quick timeout. Drapes takes. Should be worth sticking around for.
Do I have to?
Yeah, please. We need you to. Yeah, for all of Kings Nation. Next year, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Well. Picking through the wreckage of that Kings loss last night. Kyle Draper with the call last night did a great job, of course. Isn't it funny? Makes no difference, does you no good. But the Kings came so close to having a great road trip.
Think about it. They could have been 4-1 on this road trip. 2-3 they wind up. I would have even taken 3-2. And here's the problem with the last two losses. Stuff happens. I get it. But you hope to at least get one of them. You know, it's sort of like a 50-50 ball, you know? All right, they got us. Milwaukee, they got us. Dame hit a big-time shot. At least you should close out Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are self-inflicted injuries, self-inflicted wounds that we're seeing from Sacramento. Like, they gave Phoenix life. Give the Suns some credit. They had some big shots. But this is on the Kings. This isn't Phoenix playing lights out, in my opinion. The Kings did not take advantage of their opportunities in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, some of these numbers are a little iffy, these probabilities, but as you probably saw, you guys may have had the graphic, up 22 in the fourth quarter there with 8-10 left. The Kings had a 99.9% chance of winning mathematically.
The Suns, that should be as good as gold.
Yeah.
You know, you're up 22 with 8 and change left to go. It's almost garbage time.
Yeah.
That should be almost empty to bench time. You know, at the 5-minute mark, you know, give some guys some run that haven't played. Instead, they gave Phoenix life. And here's the thing, Whitey, which was so frustrating. At one point, you held a 22-2 bench advantage. Their bench was non-existent. But when Eric Gordon, he had like back-to-back threes, I thought, we're in for something now. Like, this is the one thing you didn't want to have happen. Because when you look at their roster, I'm going to go down it real quick. Grayson Allen, 3-point shooter. Kevin Durant, 3-point shooter. Bradley Beal, 3-point shooter. Devin Booker, 3-point shooter. Eric Gordon, 3. Like, they have the ability to get hot. And so if you're the Kings, the one thing you can't let them do is get hot from 3. And that's exactly what happened last night.
Yeah, you were up 22. And you held Beal and Booker to a combined 29.
You're going to win that, right? You got to be good with that.
You have to. That brings us to Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
You know, Kings fans, usually I come out fired up for Drapes Takes. I come out ready to spew that hot fire. Like my guy Dylon said, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But right now, guys, I am battered. I'm bruised. I'm beat down. I'm emotionally hurt. I'm sad. What happened last night will leave a scar on me. I know it's the NBA. We got 82 games in the season. We still got half a season left to go. But that one is going to leave a scar for me. Because I'll tell you why, and I mentioned it a few seconds ago. I'm seeing some bad habits from this Sacramento Kings team. And this road trip, to me, exposed. I'm not worried as much about the blowout losses to New Orleans, that kind of thing. That's its own bucket. But last year, this team, we could look at them and said, you know what? Late in games, they're going to get it done. They're going to find a way. De'Aaron Fox is going to hit a big shot. Domantas Sabonis get a big rebound, whatever it may be. But right now, coming off this road trip, it seems like it's going the other way. The Kings are finding a way to lose, and that's scary. I know they've been pretty good in close games up to this point, but these last 2 losses, I got PTSD. This looks like deja vu all over again. And now you got a tough schedule coming up. You got Indiana coming up. You got Atlanta, but then you got a 7-game road trip. These next 9 games are critical for this Kings season, Whitey.
Yeah, and we've talked so much about how are they going to respond when they have a bad game. And they had the perfect response for 3 quarters last night to what had happened in Milwaukee, right? The perfect response. And then they frittered it all away. It's maddening and it's frustrating. It's just confusing how that would happen.
It's confusing. And a team as good as Sacramento is, with 2 All-NBA players now, 2 All-Stars, collapse like that in the fourth quarter, that shouldn't happen. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable to me. All right, my second Drapes take, I got to talk about the free throw shooting. That has become a major issue, and it is costing Sacramento games. It cost them that Milwaukee game. It cost them last night. We talked about them going 7 of 12 last night. You go 10 of 12, you win that game. If I'm Mike Brown, and I'm sure they get the numbers like we got, we see that they're dead last in free throw shooting. I devote an entire practice to free throw shooting. I look at De'Aaron in the eye. I look at Domas in the eye. As great as you guys are, you're going to be all-stars once again. You got to make your free throws, especially down the stretch. Remember, Shaq used to always say, it was BS. We know that, but it was Shaq being Shaq. He makes them when they count.
Mm-hmm.
Our guys don't even make them when they count.
I go back to what the high flyer told you last week, the week before.
Yeah.
He said, look, free throws, it's all concentration.
Right.
It's all concentration. And the ones that really bother me, I know we're talking about last night, the two that Monk missed are the two that I just...
Yes.
That can't happen from one of your guards.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's, and usually Malik is money. He's a good for 87% free throw shooter. We've seen him hit big free throws late in games before. But, man, what happened in Milwaukee, 15 of 20, Malik missed 4 free throws that game, 6 of 10. And afterwards, remember he had his tweet, "I'll be better, Sacramento," he said. Mm-hmm. And I thought he played a hell of a game until fourth quarter, too much one-on-one ball down the stretch last night.
Yep.
My third and final Drapes take has to do with my guy, Sasha Vezenkov. Sasha scored a career-high 14 points in the NBA. He tied his career high. And what I'm seeing now from Mike Brown is that the rotation is set. And this is what scares me, Whitey. You got the box score.
Mm-hmm.
How many guards played last night for Sacramento?
We got Malik Monk, we got Kevin Huerter, we got De'Aaron Fox.
We had 3 guards on the floor the entire night. We only played 3 guards. And if I'm correct, I got the box score from the Milwaukee game right here in front of me as well. That's what happened in the Milwaukee game.
Wow.
And so, to me, that tells me the guard depth is not what I thought it was to start the season. And so if you ask me, will there be a move at the deadline? If I'm just looking at the last 2 games and the rotation that Mike Brown has, 9 guys, he's going with a 9-man rotation, but only 3 of them guards. We either got to get better production from our guards that are on the bench, or we need to make a move to upgrade that point, that spot.
Thank you. That's a really interesting point.
Right?
Yeah.
3 guards all night.
Uh-huh. As far as Sasha, too, he looked comfortable. And it's just a little extra split second to get set.
Yeah.
And, let's face it, he also, the better he plays here, maybe he has some value at the deadline, too. I mean, that also could be part of the equation and part of the benefit of him playing well.
You never know.
Yeah.
Hey, what's today? The 17th? Let me do my math. 14 plus 8. We got 22 days till the trade deadline. And, if you're just asking me, and this is no inside knowledge, I would be disappointed if nothing happens for the Kings at the deadline. Something has to get done, right? Mm-hmm. We can't limp the last 41 games of the season playing like this.
I think fans would see it as basically a waving of the white flag. If you came out and said, the moves that we can make here, there's really nothing worth doing, fans would say, you're not trying. Fairly or unfairly, that's how fans would view it.
Exactly. It'd be, and it'd be different if we were the 1 seed. Okay, I can respect that. We're the 7th seed. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me you're okay with this? And so that's how the fans would react. I'm with you. February 8th, the trade deadline. We already got one massive trade today in the NBA. We'll see if the Kings do something, but based on the rotation, what I'm seeing, they got to upgrade at that position.
Absolutely. And yes, the first big trade domino has fallen. More on that when the Drive Guys come right back on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday forecast includes partly sunny skies, highs upper 50s to low 60s, and overnight lows into the 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Right now, American Energy offering $0 HVAC diagnostics. That's normally $99 for nothing. Let the American Energy team test your system, connections, and all the moving parts of your system to ensure it's functioning properly. Let me say that again. $0 to get your HVAC diagnostic-ted. That's not even a word. That's normally $100. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. That's what American Energy does. That's what they've done since 1981. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since then. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Do it before January 31st or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, and a big trade went down in the NBA today. We'll look at that, and we'll look at some other potential deals that could be going down in the weeks to come, some perhaps involving the Kings. Before we do here, Kyle Draper, Kevin Gleason, a couple quick thoughts. You just broke down something that I know I had noticed, how the Kings' last 2 games have only played 3 guards, and this is not an excuse, but to me, I mean, Malik looked tired to me last night in the fourth quarter. I wonder if, and I'm sure he'd say, no, I'm fine, I want to play. I wonder if that contributed to his poor shooting and all the turnovers in the fourth quarter, because he's, it's 2 games in a row now. He's had to play a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, he's had to play a lot, and last game of a long road trip.
Yeah.
I walked into the gym and I was a little sluggish to start off, and so that may be part of it. But that's why you're supposed to have a deep bench, right?
Yes.
That's why you're supposed to have reinforcements.
Yes.
And the fact that we only used 3 guards the last 2 games, that is alarming to me.
It's a great point. Yeah. I'll also say this, and this is my opinion. This is not Kyle's opinion. I think it's knee-jerk stuff when people, as fans, we always want to blame the coach. And I think Mike Brown is a great coach. I think the Kings are lucky to have him. And I think they'll be fortunate if they have him for a long time. But last night, I don't think was one of his better games.
What would you have done differently? What do you think?
I think
I have some ideas, but so I want to hear what you would have.
I think they needed to get their offense back a little bit of a rudder. I mean, they needed to have a sense of what they were doing offensively down the stretch. Last night on the postgame, Matt Barnes and I think it was Carlos Ramirez were saying the Kings seemed like they started to speed up the tempo at a time when you want to be, taking care of the basketball. Right. And I thought, that's the players. That's not the coach, but the coach obviously is the one say, hey, we got to get back to run our offense. And even if you run some offense, even if you don't score, the clock is your ally, and it's a lot better than, throwing the ball out of bounds or live ball turnovers. So I'm sure he'd be the first to accept, some blame in it because he's an excellent coach. But yeah, I didn't think that was his best game last night.
Yeah, I hear you. And you're right, especially on the offense. I want to look at the defensive end. And Mike Brown talked about it after the game, and maybe later we'll play this sound. He talked about how with Domas out there, he didn't want to have Domas switching on to a Devin Booker or a Bradley Beal or something. So they decided to blitz. That's exactly what Phoenix wanted you to do. You got it, Jay? Yeah, let's play that sound because I want to get your reaction to this, Whitey, because this is where I think, the mistake was made. Here's Mike Brown talking about their defense late last night.
They were able to hit threes down the stretch because they had 5 shooters on the floor, 5 playmakers, and we didn't want to switch a guy like Domas on to Devin Booker or switch a guy like Domas on to KD. So we had to blitz. And we couldn't switch 1 through 5 to just keep bodies in front of bodies. And when we're blitzing, we're running all over the place. And they got great shooters, and they made us pay when we blitzed.
And I wonder if Mike Brown, if he had it to do over again, would not blitz. Sometimes you got to say, Domas, you just got to do the best you can do.
Mm-hmm.
If you and I don't want to give a guy like Kevin O'Connor some love or credence or anything like that. But ideally, you got a big that can at least hold it down for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
And so Mike decided, you know what? I don't want Domas on these shooters one-on-one. We'll blitz. And I thought the Phoenix Suns picked them apart. And I thought that was a mistake last night.
Yeah, the way Coach Brown explained it, it sounds like he realizes we didn't want Domas out on the perimeter, so because that would give them open shots. So we blitzed, which that meant that anybody on the Suns ended up getting an open shot. They all got
to make us two or three passes.
Right.
And here's the thing. Mike, great coach, what he's done for this organization. We wouldn't be here. He has changed the vibe. He's raised the level of expectations. After a game like last night, we're not down, dejected. Oh, man, we're angry. We're pissed off. We're better than that. And that's partially because of Mike Brown.
Yes.
But Phoenix had 11 assists on 12 made baskets in the fourth quarter last night. So you blitz, they move the ball around, they get the open looks. And 7 of their 12 shots made were 3-pointers in the fourth quarter.
Yes, Eric Gordon's 3.
Yes.
Hyatt. He was reading a magazine, right? He was doing some online shopping.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, well, hold on.
He got his nails done out there. Yeah, he was
hold
hanging.
On, guy. Boom. Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating about that. Sometimes you just got to say, I'd rather Domas man up and guard a Booker, and then when Booker drives or whatever, we send help. But to blitz him, we saw it the other night in Milwaukee too. I think it was. They welcome the blitz. They want you.
Yeah.
They're playing that way. And Philly did that. Excuse me. It wasn't Milwaukee. It was the Philly game. Look at Tyrese Maxey in that game. They tried to. Well, Maxey, all he did was back it out just a little bit, throw it over, and now you're playing 4-on-3 in the backside. And that's what happened against Philly, and that's what happened last night as well.
It's kind of analogous, Jay, when you try to blitz Brock Purdy. It's like you can't use.
You just can't. Every day got to be a Brock Purdy mention. You're not going to get me there.
Forecasting greatness.
It's a good quarter. No, you know what I mean, though. It's like in football, blitzing a really good quarterback.
Right.
Yes,
Tom Brady. Tom Brady loved the blitz. Go for
that.
it. Yep, exactly. Yeah. And that's what Phoenix did last night. That's what Philly did a couple of games ago.
Sometimes I feel like, again, my opinion, I haven't heard anything. What Mike Brown really wants to say after games sometimes is, hey, Monty, I need help. Can we get some reinforcements? We've done about all we can do with this group.
Yeah. I don't know if he feels that way, but
I don't either.
That's how you would feel, I'm sure, right? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox, they were on the entire trip. Like, that's a long trip. And they were out there. So they got a bird's eye view. They were front and center, front row view. They understand the weaknesses of this team. They understand where we're at. Trust me, they're not happy at the games that they're losing, especially these last couple. It hurts and it pisses them off too.
Yeah, and we know that they have been talking to teams. They've been working on it. What did you think, Kyle, of the big trade? Pascal Siakam, 3-team deal, sends Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, and 3 first-round picks to the Raptors. And then the Pelicans send Kira Lewis Jr. to the Raptors and a second-round pick to the Pacers. And I think the Pelicans get under the luxury
do they
something with that. I think
some
that's
salary
but yeah, a pretty hefty price for Pascal Siakam.
3 first-rounders, and it's the Utah, Houston, Clippers, or OKC pick in 2024, the lesser of one of those. Actually 2 of those, Indiana's own selection this year, and the lesser of that, Utah, Houston, Clippers. So it'll probably be, Clippers will be probably a top 5 team. So it might be like a 25 or something like that. And the third is a 2026 from Indiana, top 4 protected. I actually like the move for Indiana. And here's why. All signs point to Pascal going to re-sign there.
Yeah.
So it's not just a rental. I know you're upset
All of a
about
sudden,
that. You're like, I thought he wasn't going to sign with anybody. I thought he wanted to go to free agency. But now all of a sudden, I think Pascal Siakam, who's a multiple-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star, if I'm correct, will benefit from playing with Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese will give Pascal so many open looks, so many cuts to the basket. And Indiana, because they're a small market team, they're not going to attract free agents in the open market.
Right.
So you got to swing for the fences, and that's what they did. I like this move for Indiana.
I think it's a great move, too.
Do you really?
Yeah, no question. Again, assuming that he stays. But even if he doesn't, I mean, on some level, that would hurt, but you got to give him credit for trying, even if he ends up leaving.
What are you going to do? As good as the season as they're having, they aren't a real contender. Now you got 2 legit All-Stars. Pascal's an All-Star, people. Let's not forget that. Siakam's an All-Star, and you throw in a Miles Turner out there. Now you got the makings of a pretty good team, I think.
Here are some other names. The latest on who else could be available. Dallas was one of the teams engaged in Siakam. So now it looks like, and I think some of this is coming from our buddy at Yahoo, Jake Fisher. Yeah, the Mavericks continue to be linked to various forwards, including Andrew Wiggins.
The Mavericks?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jeremy Grant would represent an absolute difference maker for both Dallas and the Kings, according to Mr. Fisher. Kings have made Barnes, Herter, Davion Mitchell available. But he also says, let's see here, it looks like Portland is not expected to seriously entertain offers for Grant. I went through my Jeremy Grant period. I've gotten over it. I don't know that he'd be an absolute difference maker for the Kings, all things considered. I mean, I'd be open to it.
Really? You don't think so, huh?
I'm worried about he seems to be a guy that's like, give me my shots and I'm happy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And bless him. He's a good player. Let's see here. How about this? The Hornets indicating they'll be more active this deadline. They have influence from new ownership, of course. Charlotte said to have all players available outside of LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Mark Williams, which would mean, if that's true, P.J. Washington might be available.
P.J. Washington, a guy that can start for you at power forward, a guy who's had some big games in the past against Sacramento. He's only listed at 6'7", but I think his wingspan is a little bigger, and I think he plays bigger. I'm looking at Charlotte, and I'm looking at Portland if I'm Monty McNair. Yes, I'm kicking the tires on P.J. Washington. I would love to have P.J. I'm even, and I know some fans out there, some listeners out there are going to be like, no Drapes, no way. Gordon Hayward, he has a hefty contract. I get it. But he's a veteran
guy, right?
Yeah, he might be a buyout guy or somebody
yeah.
like that you can, if he wants to play for a contender, can come here to Sacramento and provide some front court help. When it comes to Portland, you mentioned Jeremy Grant. I really like Malcolm Brogdon. We talk about guards. We only played 3 guards. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man of the year, rookie of the year, a veteran, stable presence handling the ball as well. Tough, hard nose. I would like Malcolm Brogdon.
How come it didn't work out with him and the Celtics? It looked like a really good fit for the reasons you just laid out.
Yeah, I think it was some injury issues in terms of them not seeing eye to eye on some things. Yeah, shoulder. And so I know he was, from everything I heard out there, really unhappy with the organization towards the end there. Yeah.
All right. Trade talk continues when we come back here. There's a team out there that, according to reports, is interested in Harrison Barnes.
Ooh.
How about that? Tell you who and what it means next. Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
This year, wouldn't you like to stop feeling self-conscious about your receding hairline or thinning hair and to start feeling confident with the way you look? Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow from New Nordic as an effective way to get thicker-looking hair. Hair Grow is backed by an exclusive U.S. patent and is clinically proven to promote more hair growth. One actual Hair Grow customer writes, "After trying Hair Grow for a month and a half, my hair began to grow and thicken with no breakage when combing or shampooing. My hair is beginning to look great." Another writes, "A friend of mine noticed lots of increased hair growth. I couldn't be happier with the results and highly recommend this product for anyone with thin hair." Start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Ask for Hair Grow at your local Walgreens or shop online at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. That's new, NORDIC USA.com. Amazon, or ask for Hair Grow at your local Walgreens. New year, new you, New Nordic.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for usages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The Red and Gold seem to be as healthy as ever entering their first playoff game this weekend, using the first-round bye to their advantage. Running back Christian McCaffrey returned to practice Tuesday, taking the last 2 weeks off to rest an injured calf. Additionally, Sacramento native Eric Armstead is back practicing with the team and expects to play in his first game since Week 13. San Francisco opens their 2024 postseason against Green Bay, fresh off a dominant win over Dallas.
Welcome the new year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's Indoor Potting Mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Start your year off right with a great lease deal on a new Toyota. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs from the most reliable brand on the road. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new Grand Highlander gas models. Or $1,500 bonus cash on select 4Runners. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes hybrids. Ends 1/31/24.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we'll get to those 49ers. Also, we have word on what it is the Kings may be looking for in the trade market. We have word of an NBA team that is interested in one of the Kings. We'll get to all that here with the Drive Guys. Before we do, Kyle Draper back in our studios for the first time in a long time.
It's been a while,
right?
man. Yeah. It's been so long, I can't find my work ID. So I had to go through the front door and ring the bell to get into the building. Like, I looked for it in the car, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need that. And I couldn't find it.
Wow.
It's been a couple of weeks.
How was your reunion with your car?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was, I tell you, man, I told the story yesterday. That was one of the reasons I was excited to get back, to hop in that vehicle, man. I tell you what. And look at me on the YouTube, but people watching, like, this ain't a fake smile. Like, every time, Whitey, I hop in it, yeah, I'm like, me? A kid from Philadelphia? Like, you don't understand, man. This job, this life, I'm blessed, man. I just can't believe it.
My wife said about your car, we were talking about it yesterday. She said, he's got seat warmers and coolers in the front and the back. She said, that would be awesome.
You need that, bro. You need that. Only problem is my kids made the mistake. Kids are kids. They're like, what if we put on the seat heater and the seat cooling at the same time? Right. I was like, I don't know if it's made to do that, but they wanted to do it. No, man, I love that car. It's like the commercial says, it's downstairs in the parking lot right now. It's parked right outside.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome home.
Thanks.
Yeah. Evan Sittery on Twitter, and Kyle saw this. I actually didn't catch this. Kings are canvassing the trade market for a strong defender. That's quote-unquote strong defender to add to their lineup per Woj. We're guessing, well, maybe Woj said something on a show. I didn't see him tweet that. But no surprise. But I'm just, trying to put the pieces together. As you pointed out, you're only playing 3 guards. So maybe they're looking for somebody who could play guard who can defend. We knew they were looking for a strong defender.
Yeah, we knew that. That's what they need. And you start thinking of some of the names. And Matisse Thybulle is somebody you mentioned. How would you feel about that? I would love that move for this Kings team.
Yeah, because he's making threes as well, as we've said. Yeah.
Right,
Caruso,
exactly.
too, is guarding people. He's also making shots.
Exactly. Yeah. And people, think of Matisse Thybulle, the guy that played in Philly. No, he went to Portland, and they have unlocked something with him. That's one thing Chauncey Billups has done in a great way, developing Matisse Thybulle, his confidence. He's shooting 37% from 3 this season, Whitey. And he's only taken 4 a game, but you don't need him to take 8 or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he can guard the best perimeter defender. We talked about Malik Monk maybe being gassed. At some point, maybe De'Aaron Fox has looked like he was being gassed. I guarantee you, in a game like last night, Matisse Thybulle is getting minutes.
Yeah.
He's when you're up by 22, he's getting some minutes for sure down the stretch.
Yeah, and let's be honest about this. I was talking to the great Jerry Reynolds today, and he was saying, what a lot of us have said about the depth. He said, I guess they really don't have the depth that I thought that they had. And just think, Mike Brown right now, if he's able to add Thybulle, somebody like that, how much more faith he has on his bench. Right now, it's like half the time he brings someone in, he has no idea what he's going to get.
Yeah, and that's upsetting because here you are 40 games into the season, and maybe you do know what you have in the bench, and that's why they aren't playing anymore. Like, Chris Duarte, that's my guy. He started 8, 9, 10 games, but now he can't even play. What's up with that? Davion Mitchell, Keon Ellis. I'm looking down the line, and I'm thinking, man, we may need to upgrade the talent at that position. At least get some guys in that, Mike Brown can trust more. And not saying he doesn't, but you only run 3 guards in the last 2 games. What's up with that? Is it lack of trust? Is it matchups? Whatever it may be, that's not ideal.
And those poor guys last night, they're looking at the clock and they're starting to stretch a little bit. Think, I'm going to play tonight.
Right.
Play 5 minutes.
I'm
right?
getting it.
Yeah. I'll get a little run here. Like, oh, what happened?
What happened? That's a great question. And like for instance, I'm looking at the Milwaukee Bucks from that game a couple of nights ago. They played Malik Beasley, Damian Lillard, AJ Green, Cam Payne. You could argue Pat Connaughton
sure.
is a 2 guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so they played 5. We played 3. We got to, something has to change. We got to get more production from those guys.
Malik played 36 minutes.
36 minutes.
Fox 42 minutes. Herder 38 minutes.
Yeah.
We also have this from Mark Stein, which you may have seen. This is a quote. League sources say that the Rockets have a level of interest in Sacramento's Harrison Barnes in their quest to add shooting. The bad news there is, I don't know that there is anybody there that the Kings would want.
My guy Dylan Brooks? Nah, he wouldn't even be on the market, right?
Yeah.
That would not be
hard to imagine anyone Houston would make available that the Kings would be at all excited
about.
Let
me look at their roster. I'll pull it up for you and let's talk about it. Reggie Bullock Jr., 3-point shooter, huh?
I mean, maybe.
Doesn't move the needle enough. Somebody said Tari Eason. He's 6'8" guy.
He's good, though.
Out of LSU. A good, solid young player. Not Jeff Green. Yeah. Not much that you would want from that Houston team.
Yeah. I'd take Amen, but I don't think
right. I don't think they'll give us him. Yeah, and so you may want Harrison Barnes, but what you going to give us in return?
Mm-hmm.
I want to real quick go back to the Siakam trade because one of the things that's been discussed out there on social media, I check it out from time to time, is that the Kings didn't have the assets to go out there and get a player like Siakam. The Kings, they got their own draft picks, but they don't have a stockpile of draft picks. What do you make of that? Like, should our stockpile of picks be sort of like Indiana? Because we're not going to get the free agent. How we're going to upgrade the talent is by way of trade. And if your players aren't going to get it done, then you need draft picks. What do you think about the assets the Kings have from draft capital wise?
Well, first of all, as we all know, the market is just goofy because of what Danny Ainge was able to do.
Right.
So you got the price for some of these guys is multiple picks, right? I mean, 3 number ones. And then you've also got the fact the market's kind of goofy because of what OKC has done with all the draft picks. Right. That they have. Just think what they could do if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could get anybody, right?
Right. So a team like the Kings, I think, what do they have? They have all their number ones, right?
One is owed to
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a competitive stockpile. I don't think I'm good enough right now to be like, here, you can have how many of these you want to bring in a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm close enough to do that yet. I think that'd be too risky. But they have a lot of the picks.
They got because I asked that because now you look at Toronto and their stockpile of picks. They got 3 first-rounders, I think it is, for this upcoming season, upcoming draft. You may be able to package that, get a player, or move up in the draft, top 10 lottery or something like that. And so there's different ways to build the team. You could build it through the draft, trading and getting picks, or you can go out there and trade and get players. I feel like the Kings got to do something. They can't just, as much as I love these guys, we're talking about advancing. I don't want to see an 8 seed, 9 seed playing. It can happen. You could be Miami. The magic that we had last season, I want to capitalize on that.
Well, then the problem, and we all know this, we've talked about it, to your point, you end up, you're in the play-in, even if you get out of the play-in, you're on that hamster wheel. Where you're decent, not good enough to do anything, but not bad enough to get a good draft pick.
Right.
And you're just spinning your wheels.
Exactly.
While other teams like OKC and Toronto, these teams are rebuilding, they're amassing all these picks, and they're getting better, and you're kind of, we're going to be 6th again. You know?
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that the Kings need to make a move, whether it's February 8th or this offseason, something has to be done.
Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about talking a little football when we come back?
Do we have to? It's all good. We can do that. Let's do it.
A little bit, right? With apologies to Jim Harbaugh, who's got it better than the 49ers. Give you a chance to, brush off your theory about how lucky the 49ers are.
Let's do it.
We got to hear that next year. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
On the putting green, when someone doesn't get their putt to the hole, someone else is bound to say, "Hit it, Alice." But who is Alice, and what did she do to get immortalized in a golf insult? Well, it turns out that Alice isn't a she, Alice is a he. It's Alice as in the late Peter Alice, the famous English golf broadcaster. He was a pretty good touring professional, and at the 1963 Ryder Cup, Alice played Arnold Palmer and Tony Lima, having with Lima and beating Palmer. At some point in that match, Alice, for whom putting was not a strength, badly missed a 3-foot putt. Someone in the gallery yelled out, "Nice putt, Alice." Alice explained that the BBC where he did golf commentary played a large part in burning the phrase into public consciousness. I was never renowned for putting, he explained, therefore I was an easy target for British comedy programs. Alice later gave golf lessons to Sean Connery for his match as James Bond in Goldfinger. So the next time you utter, "Hit it, Alice," just remember Peter Alice. May he rest in peace. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we got that. Whatever that was that the Kings did last night, we got that to talk about. We got the 49ers and Packers coming up Saturday, playoff game. By the way, on the YouTube chat, Kyle Draper back with us today, back in studio for the first time in many, many moons. Everybody now is excited about Tari Eason. Oh, Eason, get me Eason, please. I don't think that's on the table or anywhere near the table. But, yeah, supposedly Houston interested in HB, and we were just kind of spitballing about what Houston could offer back. I don't think they'd offer Tari Eason.
No, I don't think so. He's a young part of their core, I feel like. They have a lot of young talent, young guards, too. They got off Kevin Porter Jr., who, had his issues off the court. I thought that opened up some, minutes and touches for other guys. I still go back to, if you could redo it, and I know we're about to talk football.
No,
I'm trying to put the football conversation off as long as I possibly can. First of all, I got Brock Purdy staring at me right behind you, and Purdy. But if you could do it over again, Whitey, this past offseason, do you go out there and sign Dylan Brooks? Now, everything we know, I'm talking about on this day, if you had a chance to do it over again, because you were out on Dylan Brooks big time. You said, I don't want no part of this guy. Here we are, January 17th, 2024.
Based on the way he's played, I'd have to say yes if I'm being open-minded. If I'm being honest, me personally, no, I want no part of it. But to answer your question, fairly and trying to be open-minded based on the way he has played there, the things they're saying about him, I should say. Yeah, I mean, he's shooting well and he's like taking good shots.
Yeah.
That bothered me more than any of the other stuff with him. Just that his shot selection was so bad, but he appears to have addressed that. So I would have to say, yeah, you're probably right. I wouldn't, but I know people who would.
I was talking to an opposing player during this road trip recently. We were talking about the makeup of the Kings. And he was saying, you got a lot of good guys in that locker room, but you need some dogs. You need some blank holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was like, you know what? You're right. We got And the discussion we had is it's not just you need a guy who is going to challenge the other team. You need a guy that's going to challenge your own teammates.
We needed to see that last night.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you talk about the game's greatest winners. We think of Michael Jordan. He was a jerk to teammates at times. Kobe Bryant. Same thing. Our guys show up and we think it's sweet. Great guys to cover, great guys to interview, great guys to be on the team plane and hotel and everything like that. But sometimes you need to shake it up. You need somebody that's, we're talking a Tony Allen type, a Marcus Smart type, a Dylan Brooks type. That's what I think this team is missing.
Yeah, I know Mike Brown has talked a lot about how it can't just be the coaches.
Right.
It's got to be. And I thought yeah, okay. But last night down the stretch, I was thinking, what'd be nice if, say, Domas said, give me the bleeping ball.
Right.
All right. Hey,
yeah.
Give me the ball. Or
Right.
somebody just took charge to try to restore a sense of order when it was just all flying everywhere.
Right. Our guys just play, and there's no who's the leader of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy that's going to get it back?
It depends, right? It
Right.
changes.
It
It's not like,
changes.
oh, it's him. It's like, well, sometimes it's him.
Right.
Sometimes it's him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that we're missing that for sure, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not really something you can acquire in a trade, because you can't bring in a new guy and then all of a sudden, hey,
He becomes the leader. And that's tough. Yeah. That's something that develops over time. But I will say, Dylan Brooks did it. Fred VanVleet did it. Like, those guys walk around with an edge, walk around with a chip on their shoulder.
And that's one of the things they acquired them for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We
exactly.
need you to bring that. So
Right.
all right.
Yeah, but it was in
Could be.
the off season, so you get a full camp, and and you had a young team before then that was looking for leadership. We got Domas and De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if a Dylan Brooks, to your point, comes in here and garners that respect from those guys.
If you were running the team, the Kings would have Draymond, they'd have Dylan Brooks,
Smart,
right?
Like that
Rasheed
team.
Wallace out of
You and
retirement.
Jay.
Sign me up
You
for
and
that
Jay
team.
put together.
Exactly.
Fellas, real quick, you
Yeah.
guys are talking about Houston and also assets to spin something around. Something I thought about. Would you guys be willing to spend HB around for a first round pick, especially coming from Houston,
Yep.
which is probably going to be a lottery pick?
Yes.
You're not getting nothing back but a first round pick,
Yeah,
probably
no.
a second. Let's just call it a first and a second. This
Doesn't help me
upcoming draft.
now, but helps me overall.
So basically, what you're telling me, Jay, if we do that trade,
Mm-hmm.
you got a bigger hole now in that spot.
You call it how you see it, but I'm just
Sasha time.
I'm just saying, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Would you be willing? And that would probably tell you you're going to spend, you're making other moves down the road. So you would probably have to have another, as we talked about, a hunter or someone on the backside, you're getting ready to trade for probably within the next couple of
I
days.
apologize. I'm not sure what the rules are, but if I acquire that pick, how soon can I spin it?
No, I think the pick you can.
So that would help me.
You can flip it. Yeah,
And even the future, and the other part from all accounts, like you guys mentioned Sam Vecini yesterday, guys like that, this draft is going to be down. Like they don't really expect a lot of high power guys for this draft. And even 2025, they're saying may even be down. So you're kind of looking for some young talent right now. And if you can't get it, we know picks can definitely acquire it. So just interesting to see if you guys are willing to flip HB for a pick or two.
Jay, why are you always trying to include HB in things, bro?
I didn't say nothing about HB last time.
You always trying to everybody trying to get rid of my guy Harrison Barnes.
Well, see, this is the problem I'm having. Is you're starting, as much as I know Drapes outside of the court, Sacramento Kings Drapes is starting to be a nice guy. He's starting to be what we're not looking for. And that's the problem. We need Drapes to come in and be businesslike. We need the Dylan Brooks Kyle Draper. We need the Marcus Smart Kyle Draper. We don't need the that's my guy Kyle Draper anymore. It's time to make some moves, brother.
Jay, can I share with you Harrison Barnes' numbers from the fourth quarter?
Oh, please do.
7 minutes, 10 seconds. Field goals, none. Field goal attempts, none. 3 points, none. 3-point attempts, none. Free throws, none. Free throws attempt, none. Offensive rebounds, none. Defensive rebounds, none. Total, none. Assist, none. 1 foul, 1 turnover. Minus 17. Harrison Barnes, fourth quarter.
To me, that garners a first-round pick. I like where you're coming from, Whitey. Maybe even get lucky and get a second-round pick thrown in there.
But he is a guy that I think when the offense is starting to come off the rails, that's a guy you give the ball to in the half court.
I thought Harrison Barnes was tremendous early in that game. And then, but to your point, Whitey, and we talked about it earlier, De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk took 14 of the 18 shots in the fourth quarter. And I know they are your closers, but this is supposed to be an equal opportunity offense.
Yeah.
They didn't act that way in the fourth quarter last night.
And the other 4 shots, by the way, all went in. The other 4 guys, three guys took 4 shots. They all went in. Anyway, we'll take a quick timeout, come out with a look at the 49ers. And while Kyle Draper says the 49ers are the luckiest NFL team under the sun, he may be onto something. Next year, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, as you know, it's a brand new year. The big question, what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
We're keeping our traditions alive by continuing to offer the best savings on remaining new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew cabs. Right now, you can save up to $12,000 off MSRP, and even better yet, you don't have to make a payment for 90 days.
Well, that's a pretty big deal. $12,000 off MSRP on one of America's favorite trucks.
That's the difference between Hoblet and so many others. We are here to help you get the truck you need at the best possible price, and you won't find a better selection of new Rams with over 500 trucks available. At Hoblet, we want you to be a customer for life.
See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings after 68.41 factory rebates and 51.59 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 1,000 case equipment bonus cash. Must have purchased new case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payment for 90 days through Chrysler Capital on approved credit. 10th of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Town Sports.
When Jim Harbaugh coached the 49ers, as I'm sure you remember, after every game that they won, he would ask, who's got it better than us? Nobody. Right now, it's hard to see another NFL team that has it as good as the 49ers, given what happened this weekend, Kyle, with, as you know, your team out, Cowboys out, and so the 49ers end up with Green Bay coming in, and then if they get through the Packers, your Packers, then you got to play the winner of the Lions in Tampa Bay. Not the way
talk all the trash now. Don't let my Green Bay Packers come in there. Jay, you still got that, bro? It is the easiest road since arguably, and I just looked this up, the 2018 Patriots faced the Titans, who pulled off an upset, and then the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
In the AFC champ.
The Jaguars almost beat
Right, they almost got him. But when I look at NFL playoffs and contenders, I look at the quarterback. If you were to do a ranking of NFC quarterbacks, let me get your top 5.
NFC? Well, let's see.
Regular season, I'm talking.
I'm not going to put them in order here. Okay,
yeah, this is just your top 5.
I would put Dak in there.
Okay.
This year I would put Purdy in there.
Okay.
I would put Goff's having a great year.
Hey, you want to go Goff? Okay.
Yeah, he is, and there's probably somebody I'm missing here.
Jalen Hurts, maybe.
Nah.
5.
Nah.
Yeah, 5.5.
Actually, the way he's played lately, Jordan Love might actually.
Don't even try that, Whitey.
Okay, but
you see what I'm saying?
Stafford. Yeah.
How about this?
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you. And Jay, don't be quiet. You can get in some of this smoke too.
I'm in there.
Of the remaining 8 quarterbacks, give me a ranking. The top 4 are in the AFC.
Yeah, I know.
No.
No?
No way. No.
Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Mahomes.
Yep. Brock Purdy.
CJ?
Nope.
My
Purdy.
boy CJ?
Purdy.
Okay, I give you that.
Purdy.
Then CJ Stroud right after that, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. You got the bottom 3 quarterbacks in the NFC.
Golf and Stroud are.
See?
Golf and Stroud
That's what I'm saying. And so Brock Purdy on his way to the Super Bowl is going to have to beat Jordan Love and maybe Baker Mayfield.
That's great.
That is the worst quarterback gauntlet to go. Like, seriously.
What are they supposed to do?
That is terrible.
Are they supposed to say, hey, we want to play a different team?
Facts are facts, though, Whitey. Can we all agree this is a weak NFC field left?
I think it was the Niners' fault.
Nobody's saying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just asking you, can we agree on that? That's just a statement.
Yeah, I think that it was a bad down year for the conference as it was. Even
was.
Before everything that
my Eagles choked the bed. You know, they're terrible. Dallas folded like a cheap suit.
Yeah.
And now you're left with Baker Mayfield, Goff, and Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love, midway through the season, people thought maybe he wasn't the guy. And he's gone on an incredible run as of late. But that's what I'm saying. And they have home field advantage. Is Jordan Love really going to go into Levi Stadium?
Probably not.
According to you, they are.
What I'm hoping and what's going to happen.
Packer fan.
I got exactly. I got some things I want to say, but I'm gonna let my Packers do the talking this season.
You done clipped everything from yesterday. but that's what I'm saying though. Like can we at least say no excuses right now for the Niners?
Agree.
Like if they don't get to the Super Bowl,
I agree.
This would be maybe a bigger choke job than Dallas or
I will
Philadelphia.
Say this. If they play the Lions.
You think the Lions can go on the road and get it done?
I don't think they will, but the Lions they're not just like some lucky team. That their defense plays, they're built. We talked about this from the first game of the year when they beat Kansas City. We talked about, hey, Detroit, they're pretty solid up front on both sides of the football. That's a good team. The 49ers are better, and if the Detroit Lions came into Santa Clara and they beat the 49ers, that would be a shameful loss. But Detroit is they're not. It's not a bad team. They're a good. I think they're better than Dallas, and they're better than your team.
We could go through the power rankings, and I know you say the standings. You can rank all the teams remaining in the NFL playoffs.
Well, but we've given you that point. That
was quarterback
stronger.
Okay, exactly.
Okay, but
there's no argument. This is an easy, weak, watered down NFC. Like I said, there's a little asterisk next to the Super Bowl run, in my opinion, because this is pretty.
It's not the pandemic, sir. No way.
Jay,
they've had to play 17 years.
Bubble, baby.
But no way. They've had to play 17 games. No shortcuts. They smacked Dallas. They smacked Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They've done what they're supposed to do. They ran through NFC West. Let's not forget, we had guys like Louis Riddick, guys like that who were picking Seattle to win the NFC West at a point in time.
We may have discussed Seattle.
But this year,
people were picking. We had guys that were coming on, like Louis Riddick, coming on this show saying Seattle would win the NFC West.
And if the 49ers, and who knows what'll happen, let's say they ended up winning the Super Bowl and they had not played Dallas or Philadelphia all year. I can see how maybe you'd say, oh, they didn't have to play the two best teams. They destroyed both of those.
The regular season don't matter, Whitey.
It matters.
Regular season does not matter. Now, if
your team would have had home field if they hadn't gotten destroyed.
My team, it's not about them right now. We're talking about
the Niners changed their whole trajectory, though. Dallas is for a while
Eagles
as well.
We're teetering as is. Let's be honest. The Eagles were teetering.
That's not what I was hearing in November.
I'm saying this. This is like the Wizard of Oz, and the yellow brick road is a gold brick road laid out for the San Francisco 49ers. At the end of the day, if you win it, you win it. You're going to celebrate that.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
No asterisk.
But you got to admit, it's there for them. Like, this is it.
Sure.
This is the week. My gosh.
Drapes, it was
Detroit almost lost this last week.
It was there for them before the playoffs started, though.
Nah, not if Dallas. Not if Dallas would have made it.
Well, that's not the 49ers' fault that Green Bay won. Now they play the team who just drudged Dallas.
But how can you say that about Dallas given what we just saw of them last week?
That was one game. It was one bad game. I think Dallas, the totality of the Cowboys, I think they're a good team. I think they're a championship. They had one bad day, really bad day. Like, I would have liked to seen San Francisco go through Philly this week, then have to play Dallas.
I don't think you
now
would have
that's
liked that, but we'll never know.
You're talking about some star power. You're talking about some great quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. Now it's like being, the Celtics last year. You get to face the Miami Heat in the Eastern. Miami Heat was the 8-9 seed. They were a playing team. It was laid out for you, and they choked it away.
Yeah, when the Warriors won their first championship, 2015, of this group, they dodged. They ended up, they didn't have to play the Clippers because the Clippers lost to Houston. Yeah. People were saying the same thing.
Right.
Now you look back on it, guess what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. As long as you win, it doesn't matter. But for this discussion right now, on this day, man, it's a weak road to the championship for you guys. Like, look at the AFC. Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore. You got both 3 Hall of Fame players right there at quarterback. C.J. Stroud, your offensive rookie of the year for the Texans. Like, that's a legit – this NFC, I'm telling you, man.
You saying Houston's better than Detroit?
No way. Stop that.
I'm talking about the
Kansas City's not better than Detroit.
I'm talking about the – What?
Kansas City's not bad.
I'm talking about playoffs. See, you guys are looking at regular season.
No.
Come on,
I'm
man.
looking
Look
at right
the
now.
playoffs.
Kansas City got destroyed at home by Detroit.
That was regular season week 1, Whitey. You going back to week 1.
I think they would beat them this week, too.
I'm taking my guy, Pat Mahomes, in a playoff game.
And
I
all
think
them receivers.
Quarterback play is the driver of the postseason. If you have elite quarterback play, you have a chance.
Mark that down.
I'm looking at 4 elite quarterbacks in the AFC. How many elite QBs do we have in the NFC? 0.
Mark that down. Mark that down.
I'm not even putting golf there. I'm not.
Okay, then by your theory, if you got to have great quarterbacking to win in the playoffs, and there are no great quarterbacks in the NFC, then what you're saying is an NFC team cannot win the Super Bowl, right? That's what you're saying? Is that what you would?
That's what he's saying.
He's trying to back me into a call.
And you're saying on top of that, Purdy winning 2 games doesn't mean anything in the play because it's the playoffs now.
If Purdy advances to the Super Bowl, that's nothing.
Dude, all season you've been saying he's got to do it in the playoffs.
I didn't know it would be laid out this weekly. If you're saying he's going to be Green Bay and maybe Tampa Bay, you're going to be, Purdy's is great. Dude, those are like, come on, man. Jake, let's keep it real, bro.
Well, that's what I'm
These are sorry
I'm
teams.
Just asking you the question. Are you saying that no NFC team can win the Super Bowl because none of them have an elite quarterback?
I'm saying you're trying to back me into a corner.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Question. No, the Niners are the outlier because they're a juggernaut all around. Their weakness is the quarterback position. They got strengths all over the rest of the roster. And so they're winning. I'm not going to say in spite of Brock Purdy, but they can win it without Brock Purdy throwing for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, that kind of thing.
How happy will you be if the 49ers lose the Super Bowl? Let's say they get to the Super Bowl.
You know what? We're the Niners station, so I don't want to go on record with that. But
Whitey, there's a lot of things I'm confused on because 2 months ago he had to see it in the playoffs. Now we're here in the playoffs,
right?
A bunch of these dudes.
Look at Emil back there. Emil want to jump in.
A bunch of these guys can't even compete. But at the same time, Purdy and the 49ers are the reason Dallas and Philadelphia are probably out almost at this point, and he can't even get love and credit for that. Yeah. So what is he getting credit for? This dude's taking tests, and he's not getting any credit. He's just pass or fail. He can't even get an A, B, or C. Just give him credit. B, nothing.
You know, in Arizona, they have the grass field and the huge dome, and then they move it in and out.
Yes.
And if you have the goalposts on it, that's what you're because the goalposts.
See, here's the thing. This my last thing on this, Jake. if you go back to when we initially had our Brock Purdy takes and conversation.
Oh, that's all year.
I said, if Brock Purdy, is he going to really go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson?
No,
great
wait, hold on. Stop, Drapes. I don't mean to cut you off. You didn't say none of the AFC guys. You were talking about Jalen Hurts. You were talking about Dak Prescott. You were talking about Jared Goff.
Come on, bro. To get to the Super Bowl, he has to beat Green Bay,
who just beat
Jordan
Dallas.
Love, and Detroit.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
What?
You might have to be
Baker Mayfield
yet again, which he's already done.
This
He's already
is
done this
terrible,
season.
bro. Come on. This is like the worst quarterbacks you will have ever had to face to get to the Super Bowl in NFL. This is terrible. Man. You got the 4 best quarterbacks in the NFC.
You got 3 in the Purdy.
3, yeah.
3 in the Purdy.
Yeah. Golf's pretty good.
Yes.
When we come back, another big question Brock Purdy may have to answer this Saturday. Drive Guys right back with that on Sactown Sports.
The unexpected happens. Trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs continues Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the AFC's top seed Baltimore Ravens as they look to back up the league's best record when they host the upstart Houston Texans.
Then the 49ers start their postseason as they host the Green Bay Packers. Texans and Ravens at 1:30, Packers and 49ers at 5:15.
The NFL playoffs right here on your home for Super Bowl 58, Sactown Sports.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We were already in here, so we were doing it that day. We had mixed in a little bit earlier in the week, hitting up a couple of teams, but started really focusing on them halfway through the second quarter. Then they scored at the end of the second quarter, so I kind of did both at halftime. And then third quarter, I was set on one team.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
By the third quarter, Kyle Shanahan knew he had to focus his scouting efforts on your Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
I think Belichick ends up going to the Cowboys. What do you think?
I want to see him go to Philly if they make a move.
Sure.
And, I think that would be the best fit for him. Bill Belichick has a strong ego, personality. Is he really going to listen to Jerry Jones? Can we see that working out?
Maybe if it's a short term, if he's like, I just want to stick around another few years and maybe win one somewhere else.
Yeah.
If this team gives me my best chance, I could put up with Jerry for a couple of years. I mean, I could see it if that's the case. I understand your point.
But if he does go to Dallas, they are ready made to compete for a championship, I think.
Yeah.
All they need is a coach, some structure, a little more discipline on the field as well. I wonder, though, why would he interview with the Falcons? Why would Jim Harbaugh interview with the Falcons? Is it just to get some reps? Like, would they really consider the Falcons?
I don't know. Could it be a matter of, well, they're gonna want us, so they're gonna make a huge offer.
Right,
that's gonna raise my price tag. I don't know.
Right.
It's also kind of a courtey problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Right. It's like though, I mean, I can see, Chargers, Cowboys, Patriots was a good job until they gave it to Gerard Mayo, obviously. That was pretty quick. But no, I would like Belichick. To me, doesn't seem like he would go to a total rebuild, because you had that in New England and it wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And so
because he's 72, so he wants to go
he's up
somewhere
there.
he can win like right away if possible.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
And somewhere with a quarterback already too, right?
Yeah.
And because we've seen Belichick's drafting of quarterbacks has not been good over the years.
Yeah.
You got Tom Brady, but after that, whether it's Jimmy G, Mac Jones, they haven't been able to replicate that. And so Dallas makes a lot of sense. I don't know about the Jerry Jones situation, but from a talent standpoint, ready to win standpoint, that would be a huge fit.
I got a Mac Jones Silver Prism rookie. And when he started falling, I remember before his first camp, there were reports that, wow, this is not going well. And I was wondering, should I sell it? Should I sell it? I should have sold it.
You try to give it away right now, somebody will be like, all right, give me that, and I need $20 from you. Like, you got to pay to give that thing away right now.
We were just talking, as we so often are, about Brock Purdy. And a lot of people are saying this could be a real test for Brock Purdy this week, not because they're playing Green Bay, but because there's a chance it's going to be wet. Now, the latest I saw today, they were expecting a big rainstorm Saturday night in Santa Clara. The latest I saw today, of course, it can change. The rain is not, as of the latest forecast, not expected to come until after the game ends. But the point is, against Cleveland this year, against Seattle last year, I think it was in the playoffs, Brock Purdy has struggled a little bit with a wet ball. So, we're still not sure what he is. But you remember the Cleveland game, it looked like, what's wrong with him? And a lot of people think there could be a challenge for him if the ball is wet this week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they got the ground game. I mean, it's the Packers, my Green Bay Packers, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm
talk all the trash now. Don't let my Green Bay Packers come in there.
Jay, I'm never going to live that down. Do we got a show Monday? I may have to call in sick on Monday because if the Niners win on Monday,
it's expected. No worries.
He said it's expected. You just got to take that, Drapes. No, man. We have seen in the past this season, I think in Cleveland, conditions not that ideal, not that favorable. Brock Purdy has struggled. That might be Jordan Love's only hope. That might be the Packers' only hope. I just, if I'm being unbiased, calling it like it is, they should mop the floor with Green Bay. Green Bay is not a legit. They're not. Yeah, they're not ready for prime time.
And Jordan Love, you were just talking about comparing the quarterbacks. He's one of their strengths. It's their, they can't stop the run.
Right.
And they can't stop other teams' running backs in the passing game. So given those two things, this is potentially just a horrible matchup for the Packers.
Yeah. Packers aren't a great defensive team. Yeah. Niners should carve them up like Swiss cheese. And then you got, I would like to see Detroit. Detroit, I think, can score. They can make plays. I like their head coach.
And they're still kind of playing with house money.
A little bit. But, here's the thing about Detroit versus, I think, the other teams left in the NFC. I feel like they play with an edge. They have like an edge about them, almost a nastiness, if you will. They take on the personality of their head coach, Dan Campbell. Look at Matt LaFleur in Green Bay. You look at Bowles in Tampa. More nice guy. Like Dan Campbell seems to be a motivator. Nobody's, expecting us to win. Everybody's against us. Like, I could imagine his pregame speech getting ready if they make it for the NFC Championship game. And he might just inspire his guys. And what it sort of reminds me of, I was covering the New England Patriots back in 2010, I think it was. I can't remember the year. But Baltimore came in, and Baltimore had a great team. Ray Rice was on there. And right from the jump, they gashed the Patriots. Ray Rice, 63-yard run, right opening, first play of the game, changed the entire course of the game. I think Detroit has that kind of capability, will come in with that kind of mindset to maybe make it a game. I don't expect that from Green Bay. Baker Mayfield, come on, man. I just don't see it. But I think Detroit, may have a puncher's chance if they meet up with San Fran.
Did you hear what Mark Chmura had to say today?
No, what did he say?
Mark Chmura, former Packer tight end.
Yeah.
He was on a radio show in Green Bay or Milwaukee. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. This is a big story today because basically what he was saying was you gotta touch up Brock Purdy. He said, I think we have the audio somewhere. We'll get it. A 15-yard penalty, and I don't condone this, but I kind of do in the playoffs. A 15-yard penalty for a late hit on Brock Purdy is not a bad thing as long as it's worth it.
He said that.
Mark Chmura said, ESPN Milwaukee today. Yeah, and now you got people like Richard Sherman coming out and saying there is no excuse for saying something like that.
You can't say that.
Ever. I think it's one of those things, if you talk to, football players, they'll tell you that happens all the time, but you're just not.
You're not supposed to say it, right? You're not supposed to come out there. Like, the end doesn't justify the means in this situation. If we can knock him out, we might get hit with a penalty, a fine, but he'll be out of the game. We'll take it. That's not sportsmanship right there.
Chmura said, quote, sometimes a 15-yard penalty is worth it early in the game if you knock the living crap out of the guy. And then he kind of like sticking your helmet in the ribs of Nick Bosa. It's like, I'm hearing ghosts. So that's what Mark Chmura said today.
Like you said.
His point was.
You may think that, but saying it?
Yeah. His point was, like you were saying, he feels like when they went to Candlestick in 95 and they won? He said no one gave us a chance, but we went out there and we were very physical.
Right.
And so that's what he's saying this team has to be, but I don't know that this Packers
1995.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
It's 2023. Man. He needs to stop.
Yeah. Mark Chmura's been through a lot since then.
Some of these cats on the team weren't even born.
Yeah, you're right.
I
You're
know.
right. Mark Chmura, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah,
man.
but okay. We don't say that anymore, Mark.
You know, yeah. You may say that behind closed doors,
right?
Team meetings or something like that. I can guarantee you, you want your players, if you're a coach, seeing red. Get after that quarterback. We're going to lay the wood on him, and so. I could see an aggressive Detroit team coming out in a couple of weeks. If I'm being real, I'm already looking past this one. I'm like, Detroit, you got to get it done. But Dan Campbell motivating his guys like that, I could see something like that happen.
Yeah, and one more thing. You said Todd Bowles is a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. I saw this today. Maybe you've seen it.
Yeah.
He was talking to the media. You know how coaches can be with the media sometimes.
Yep.
And somebody in the media was asking him, hey, if you got to go play Detroit, it's been really cold there. And, how do you get your team ready? And Todd Bowles kind of looks around and goes, they have a dome. Right?
Ooh.
But he didn't. He was like nice of it.
Yeah.
He could have said, that's a stupid.
Right.
But he said, he like, they have a dome, right? Yeah.
Oh. And I saw somewhere that it was a local news reporter. They had done away with their sports department.
Oh.
And so, sometimes you have the news reporter who really don't know about sports. And
Yeah.
it's just, come on now.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
All right. When we come
What we
right
got?
back here, the Kings lost a game last night that mathematically it was almost
Yeah.
impossible to lose. So how did that happen? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his former team.
What a pass and what placement from Sabonis.
It's the Kings and Pacers Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The Red and Gold seem to be as healthy as ever entering their first playoff game this weekend, using the first-round bye to their advantage. Running back Christian McCaffrey returned to practice Tuesday, taking the last 2 weeks off to rest an injured calf. Additionally, Sacramento native Eric Armstead is back practicing with the team and expects to play in his first game since Week 13. San Francisco opens their 2024 postseason against Green Bay, fresh off a dominant win over Dallas.
Welcome to New Year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's Indoor Potting Mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The first time I tried to quit vaping, I told myself that it was like a mountain that I had to climb over. And once I got to the other side, it would be clear. But I couldn't make it over. What really got me to quit was my little sister. I saw her vaping. So I was back in the mountain, but this time she was up there with me. It's weird what you can do for others that you won't do for yourself.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Does that happen?
I'm still salty, Whitey. I'm still in my feelings about it because Phoenix isn't a tremendous home court advantage. And you let them bums come back on you like that, get their crowd into it. It's disheartening. You know, we had sort of exercised the demons of being the laughing stock of the league. But on this day, everybody's saying, look at the Kings doing Kings things.
Yep.
And that hurts. That's upsetting to me.
Yes. The numbers are, the math of it was supposedly up 22 in the fourth quarter with 8:10 left. The Kings were said to have a 99.9% chance of winning that game, which is like, well, that's almost impossible to lose. And yet somehow they found a way to lose. Down the stretch, falling apart, 119-117, the final. And look, it's a bad loss in terms of how it happened, but in terms of the standings as well, it's like, that one hurts a little bit.
That one hurts a little bit in terms of the standings, because when you look at it, you started yesterday in 5th place, I do believe. And with one loss,
You're right.
Dallas leapfrogs you, New Orleans leapfrogs you, and now Phoenix is only a game back, and they're surging. They've won 8 out of their last 11. And so right now you're a play-in team.
You're also, and this may be a stretch, but you're also only 2 games ahead of a team that all of a sudden has won 6 in a row. And the Utah Jazz. And I know the Kings, it seems like they could beat that team in their sleep, but Utah's playing well all of a sudden.
The hottest team in the league. They've won 9 out of 10, 6 in a row. They tweaked their starting lineup, having Walker Kessler come off the bench. John Collins, who we've talked about on this show about a potential trade target. Now he's playing lights out, so I don't see them selling him at the trade deadline. And they're scary. I don't think they're a contender, but are they in contender for one of those play-in spots?
Sure.
I think they are.
Yeah. Long story short, I think we see it in basketball at just about every level. Team A gets way ahead, and then there's something that they lose an edge, they lose a focus, and then Team B starts coming back, and by the time Team A realizes we have a game, it's too late.
It's too late.
And I think to a degree that's not an excuse. It shouldn't happen, but I think It happened last night.
You know, and sitting here thinking about it, this is the issue that Sacramento Kings have all season long. And it's not just about last night's game. It's not about Milwaukee. It's about the Houston game, the Pelicans. When a team goes on a run, to your point, we don't know how to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to shut a team off. When a team starts cooking, lights out. We've seen it from the Pelicans at home. We saw it last night with Phoenix. I think that's our biggest issue right now. If I was going to take a macro view of it, 10,000 feet in the sky, it's when teams punch us and go on their runs, we don't know how to stop it.
Right. Rather than we're going to stop them, we're going to get a stop. It's, well, I'm sure that's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, what it amounts to is we just have to weather this until it blows over.
Right. You hope it ends. Yeah.
Stop falling for them. Yeah.
I mean, you look at what Philadelphia did, New Orleans, even Charlotte went on a run. Terry Rozier lit us up. This was the home game I'm talking about. Portland. I mean, you look at all these losses, that's the central theme. At some point in the game, the team gets confidence, they hit a few shots, and then they go on a run. 32-8 was the run to end the game last night. As great of an offensive team Sacramento is supposed to be, there's no way a team should go on a 32-8 run.
Mm-hmm.
No way you should only score 21 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's what's so frustrating about this. And so when you talk about the problem, I think it boils down to that. We don't have run stoppers, or we don't know how to stop runs. Is that going out and getting Matisse Thybulle, focusing on defense? Is that going out there and getting better offensive players? Something has to happen, though. To me, it just hit me sitting here talking to you right now. All these losses, we don't know how to stop runs.
Yeah, that's why I think I'm with you. And I think if you just take all the Kings' issues, like any team has issues, but all their issues, their assets, their problems, where they come up short. Bottom line, the biggest issue with this team, the thing that anchors them, keeps them from getting to where they need to be, is the fact that they're just really a poor defensive team. And I know the numbers and the rating, you can say, well, look, now it's up, now it's down. But when they need to play good defense, it's not there for them. They're not a very good defensive team. And the other side of that coin is teams like the Suns, they fall behind and they know that, oh, we're going to have a chance to get back in this game.
There was no panic from Phoenix last night.
Yeah.
You never felt like, you know what, they're just going to roll over, play dead. Like, soon as they hit 2 threes in a row, Eric Gordon, it was like, shoot. They decided to play basketball now.
Yeah.
Because they were sleepwalking there early on. Kevin Durant wasn't doing a whole lot. Brad Beal and Booker were held in check. Grayson Allen kept them in the game. And then, bam, they started hitting some threes, other guys other than Allen. And we had no answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's our biggest problem. Look at the New Orleans Pelicans games. Kings actually started off good, except that last game. But in the first 3 games against them, Sacramento actually held their own in the first quarter. But then the Pelicans punch back. They go on a little run, and then it just snowballs from there. Teams get confidence, and we can't turn it off.
I do think that whatever the Kings do, it has to be something that addresses them defensively. However, I don't know how realistic it is to think that you bring in one, maybe if you're lucky, 2 guys, that they're really going to have that big of an impact on your defense.
But, you know, and
this is one on-the-ball stopper can make a bit.
This is something I asked Mike Brown the other day. This was the Milwaukee game. Because I wanted to know what the body language of the team was when a team goes on a run like that. I'm like, Mike, are you seeing good body language? It's like sometimes yes, sometimes not. I mean, that's just the NBA. That's how it is. It happened the same way in Golden State. And so I don't think you necessarily, the answer is going to lie in, oh, this guy's a defensive stopper. I need the spirit of the team, the heart of the team in these moments to show. And that's what's disappointing. You're not seeing that fight that, you know what? You went on a 12-0 run. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to get a stop right now. And so I'm not necessarily talking about getting the best on-ball defender there is. I'm talking about an emotional leader on the floor. And whether that's Fox stepping up, DeMontis, somebody, that has to change. You can't just have Phoenix going a 32-8 run, Whitey? Come on, man. That can't happen.
They had the game still there before him,
Right.
even as the lead started evaporating. They needed somebody to say, look, it stops now, right? Okay, we have this game. We got to finish. And no one was able to do that. It was more like, oh, we're good. Then all of a sudden, we lost.
Complete opposite of last year, too, right? Like this team last year, you knew they had that fight. They had that dog in them a little bit. Like, you knew that, like I said earlier during Drape's Takes, they would find ways to win. Now it seems like we're finding ways to lose, and that's concerning.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, we'll continue today to examine ways the Kings can make sure that doesn't happen again. Jason Anderson from the B will join us about 4:15. And up next, some numbers that show just how incredibly unlikely that comeback was. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
4bygovernment.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-473-0864. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-0864 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-473-0864. Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton and Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Well, it's a new year, so the big question is what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
Sadly, the end of an era is here. Dodge has stopped making the classic gas-powered Charger and Challenger, so this is your last chance to get your hands on some American muscle with that iconic V8 power. And now is the best time to buy because you can get up to $7,000 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXT and Challenger GT.
Yeah, that's one of those things you hope they wouldn't do. Truly is the end of an era.
Yeah. And that means when they're gone, they're gone.
See their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
7,000 total net savings after 6,500 dealer discount and 500 factory rebate. Includes 500 first responder cash. Must be member of qualifying first responder program. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 700 plus FICO score required. $1,389 per thousand borrowed and no payments for 90 days. 5 at this net savings. Sample VIN 648404.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
And it's the Drive Guys together in studio for the first time. Many days and nights. Kyle Draper's been on the road with the team. And, the Kings were so close to having a truly great road trip. So close. Instead, they ended up with something far from a great road trip.
And let me say this, Whitey. 2-3 is not terrible, but it's the way you lost, right?
Exactly. It always is.
It's the way you lost the game. If you would have fought tooth and nail, you know what? Just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you could argue they gave both of those games away.
Yeah.
And so as a Sacramento Kings fan, I understand the frustration. You should be frustrated because, and we've talked about this last year, we're going to talk about it this year. At the end of the day, when game 82 is over, we're the 6th seed, 7th seed, we're going to look back and say, we gave away 3 or 4 or 5 games. We should not have been in this position. And that's what's so frustrating about these last couple.
Yeah. That, by the way, that's why I never play that game of, hey, on this road trip, what's a good record? Or how many games do you want your team to win this year? It's like, well, it doesn't work that way. It's always about how it happens.
Right.
You say 2-3, okay, but man.
Win the first 2 against bums and then, and then lose 3 in a row. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Here's how unlikely that was last night. Teams facing deficits of 22 or more in the fourth quarter. Tim Reynolds had this. So since August of 2020, so we're going back to the bubble.
The bubble.
Teams facing deficits of 22 or more in the fourth quarter were 0 and 1,244.
Oh, man.
0 and 1,244. Now it's 1 and 1,244. Yeah. Biggest fourth quarter comeback in the NBA since the bubble. So it's been a while since we've seen anything like that. I don't know. I want to say, how did the Kings come back from that? But frankly, I'm tired of saying that. How many times have we said that this year? Well, a loss like that. How are they going to bounce back from that? I'm looking forward to tomorrow night against Indiana. And I guess they catch a break because the Pacers won't have close to full.
Yeah, they'll be shorthanded after this trade that they made today, and it's still no Tyrese Halliburton.
Right.
And so on paper, Whitey, should be a win. But Philly didn't have Embiid. Portland didn't have. It doesn't matter. Sacramento, and we've talked about it before, it should not matter who lines up opposite you. I don't care if they got, Paul George, Danny Granger, Reggie Miller on the court. It doesn't matter. If you're the Sacramento Kings, you got to handle your business. It's about you and not the opponent. And that's what we've seen all season long. Okay, you want to talk about the Pelicans' losses? Maybe it's about the Pelicans, and that's a bad matchup. But you can't tell me a home loss to Charlotte has to do with you. You can't tell me losing against Portland doesn't have to do with you. It's about, you can't tell me collapsing down the stretch against Milwaukee and Phoenix. It's not about those two teams. Sure, Dame made a shot, KD went off. But if you take care of your business, if you handle your business, you're not in that situation.
Interesting. Last night after you and Katie wrapped up, and I'm sure you guys needed, some time to get away from that. But on the post game, it was Carlos Ramirez was on along with Matt Barnes, and Carlos asked Matt Barnes, "Hey, when you were in the Lakers, something like that was happening. What did you guys do?" And he would say, Kobe would get upset. He said, use some probably more colorful language than you're supposed to use on TV, but whatever. He said, Ron Artest would get upset. And we've talked about that a lot today. I think we needed to see that. Mike Brown's talked about that a lot this year. We need the players to be accountable. What does that mean? And Domas has said, well, it means, that we got to, get in each other's face. Nobody was in each other's faces last night.
Yeah.
It was just, and I think because they thought we're good. And then just, they needed somebody to take the bull by the horns, if you will, to grab the whole reins of this thing again. Hey, look, everybody, come on my back. All right. Let's settle down and finish and get this done. And it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. And we're going to have Jason Anderson of the Sacramento Bee coming up next segment. And I want to ask him about that because he was in the locker room afterwards, wrote a great piece we'll get into. What was the mood like in the locker room afterwards? Because there was a video of De'Aaron Fox smiling on the court after the game, but then Jason wrote about it in his story about how De'Aaron was sitting by himself for 20 minutes, stewing over what had happened. I think it's all fine and dandy after the fact, but we need to see it during the game. Like the passion we saw from Mike Brown in that Milwaukee game, he went off the rails. He lost it, but I'm okay with that because that shows me he cares. Same thing, when I'm on the post-game show. If we lose to Boston or get smacked by New Orleans, I'm supposed to show I care. I need to see that these players care, Whitey. And I need to see them in the heat of the battle, not after the game. I need to see them in the heat of the moment. And here's the thing, and you've coached basketball. We've all coached sports. Jay will echo this also. There's a difference between playing and competing. It's okay to play, but we need competitors when it's time to fight. And we saw that a lot last year. Like these guys fought. Last night, they looked shell-shocked.
They really did.
Yeah, they looked like they had no answers, no clue what to do down the stretch.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned this play earlier. To me, there was the one play watching last night where I felt like, okay, something's really wrong here. Real quick, it's 113 to 106 with about 2:37 left. The Kings, they've given up a lot of lead, but they have the ball, and they have the ball in a 7-point lead with 2.5 to go. You're in great shape there. And De'Aaron Fox has the ball. So it's like, all right, it's time to settle down. You score here, you're up. Now you still can be in control of the game. De'Aaron Fox ends up with, there's a switch with Durant coming out onto De'Aaron Fox, and then I think it was Grayson Allen on Sabonis. Could be wrong, but there was a smaller guy on Sabonis. So if De'Aaron Fox has a couple options there. One is, you take advantage of the mismatch. Two is you go around a player who's bigger and probably not as laterally quick. And instead he ended up, I'm sure you remember, with that fall away three that got blocked by Durant. And then Durant hits a three at the other end. And then it's 113-109. And I remember thinking, my goodness, that's about as bad a decision as I've ever seen De'Aaron Fox make.
You got that, Jay? You got that sound? Let's hear what you're talking about.
Yet to put it on the floor against Booker. Screen from Sabonis. Goes to the left angle. Down to 3. Down to 2. He has to lift up. His shot is blocked by Kevin Durant. Durant in transition. Ready to launch a 3. This place will go crazy if he makes it. And they're going bonkers in Arizona.
Okay, so there's part of the shot clock's winding down.
Right, shot clock's winding down.
Yeah, but still.
Bad
play when you needed a basket.
You needed a basket, and that was at 2:39.
Yeah.
I want to run down the next several possessions from Sacramento.
Yes.
You had De'Aaron Fox, the 26-foot three-pointer that Kevin Durant blocked. After that, you had a Domas layup. That made it 115-109. After that, a Malik Monk turnover. After that, next possession, 115-112. Malik Monk, 28-foot three-pointer miss. What's the three-point line, Whitey?
It's 23-9.
Exactly, from out of the top and around. So he took a 28-footer. Keegan gets an offensive rebound. De'Aaron Fox, 26-foot three-point attempt. Next possession, De'Aaron Fox, 20-foot pull-up jump shot. Where's the paint?
Mm-hmm.
Where's attacking the paint?
And you had a make in there, Domas.
And Domas. One Domas make.
He was 2 for 2 in
that fourth. Down the stretch, De'Aaron Fox had a nice little floating shot late in the game that tied it at 117, and then the foul on Kevin Durant, which was a foul. I said it during the game. A lot of people on social media, they're posting, was this a foul? It was a foul.
It was probably a foul twice.
Right.
It was definitely a foul.
He got him low, and then he got him on the elbow as well. And so
where's the poise?
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like they sped us up or something. Like the moment got too big for us. Where's the poise? And maybe that's what Mike Brown is talking about, learning. Lessons learned from this game. The more you're in it, the more you do it, hopefully the better you get. But this was a setback last night. Mm-hmm. I thought we had that cured. Last year, we were one of the most poised teams in the NBA. That's why De'Aaron Fox was clutch player of the year. We just knew they were going to make plays down the stretch. Now, I don't see it. I don't see it this year.
No, very disappointing. So what was it like in that locker room after the game? We'll find out when Jason Anderson from the B joins us next. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Oh, my goodness. All my friends know Kyle Draper. Our next guest works for a newspaper. He's the sports editor, Sacramento Bee. He's going to join us in just a second here. We have our guest ready? I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah, we'll be talking to Jason Anderson. And we're going to be trying to figure out what happened to the Kings last night. Not only what happened to them, but how they were dealing with that post-game. We know that fans, announcers were in a state of, I guess we could call it a state of sports shock. Maybe still are, because you don't see things like that. I've never quite seen anything like that. So what was the mood of the team? Here's Jason Anderson, Sac Bee sports editor, Kings beat reporter. Thanks for your time, Jason. How would you describe the players' state of mind after that, whatever that was last night?
Well, it was tough. It was tough. The mood in the room was not real good. They were kind of shell-shocked by what happened. To blow a 22-point lead over the last 8 minutes was rough. Malik had some choice words when he kind of uttered. He came into the locker room to get dressed, kind of uttered some words, and then I had a chat with him. He was pretty upset. Pointed the finger at himself to some extent with the turnovers. And I know everybody's talking about De'Aaron and kind of where he was at, and it was tough to just to he had this look in his eyes, and he just kind of sat there. He declined to speak like early on, like he's still in uniform, and usually, we'll wait that out. But they're on a long road trip and trying to get home. I kind of asked him, if he wanted to talk real quick, and he just sort of waved me off at that point. And so I waited and wanted to catch him after, he had a chance to shower and get dressed and get ready to go. And even after all that time, you just kind of watch him sit there in the corner by himself, just absolutely silent, didn't say a word to anybody. And just all by himself and his thoughts, whatever he was, however he was processing that, internally. And then, as he got up to leave, I asked again if we could talk for a minute. And again, he just kind of waved me off and left the room. And, I'm a little concerned about him. These are tough losses. I don't want to overreact to any one loss, even as bad as that is. But he's been going through it lately. He had, a little bit of a downturn where, I was a little worried about where he was at physically, with some of the, bumps and bruises that you get over the course of a season. Seems to be, played pretty well last night. We get 32, I want to say. And, I think maybe he's coming through some of that. They're going to have, after this Indy game, there's 3 days off, which I think is going to be really good for them. And maybe him in particular to kind of get over some of that stuff. If it's still lingering, it's not going to go away. But anyway, I've been worried about him on the physical side of things a little bit. And now, just after seeing, last night, I'm, a little bit worried about the mental side too. I can't tell you what he was thinking or what that was because he didn't talk to us and didn't explain, kind of how he was looking at the situation. But, definitely a dour mood in the room last night. And, for good reason. That was a tough way to lose a game.
Jason Anderson, Sacramento Bee, joining us, the only local reporter on site there in Phoenix last night, asking the tough questions. Jason, when you look at what happened the last two games, what stands out to you the most? Because one of the things Whitey and I were talking about is the team's lack of poise. And I feel like last year they showed a lot of poise down the stretch. That's why De'Aaron Fox was the clutch player of the year. This year, at times, especially recently, these last two games, they have a lack of poise. Is that what you're seeing, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's true. It's what's really frustrating for them, I think, is that, I mean, they played so well. I mean, they were sitting there at the half with like 23 assists and 3 turnovers, I think. I mean, it was just they were just playing beautiful basketball, moving the ball really well, shooting it well. They even, locked in a little bit on defense and had the Suns down around 41, 42% shooting for a while. And, things were going pretty well. I think the same was true in the Milwaukee game. They had, they played a really good game to be in it with those guys. Let's not forget these are good teams. Phoenix had their big three. It was the first time the Kings had seen them at full strength. So tough teams. They played well for, depending on which game you're looking at. Last night it was, 40 minutes. They played really well, certainly well enough to win the game. And then, just somehow found a way to blow it in right there at the end. So, yeah, I think there are lapses for sure. They felt like there were similarities between those two losses and the lapses, the defensive lapses in particular. And so, yeah, there's some of that. And I don't, it's kind of hard to put a finger on it exactly. I think some of this is personnel and matchups. I was sitting there last night. I had a whole Kings win story ready to go that, there are teams that have given the Kings matchup problems, but the Suns aren't one of them because they were about to go to 3-0 against those guys. And then all of a sudden the wheels fall off and it was a matchup thing as it turned out. Mike was a little bit, I don't know. He was looking for answers and couldn't find them with the personnel and the groups he was putting out on the floor. The Suns went small, put KD at center, And, like it was going so badly that Mike he took Domas out. I mean, that's one of your best guys, and you feel like you can't have him on the floor in a situation like that because you don't want, him to get switched off on Booker and all this stuff. But then that didn't go well, and he immediately had to put him back in, and they just had to ride with it and see what they could do. And, in the end, it just wasn't quite enough.
Jason Anderson with us from the B, of course, great Kings coverage, SacB.com. 2 bitter losses in a row, Jason. Do they change the Kings' wants or needs at the deadline, or perhaps change the sense of urgency over the need to make some kind of move here before the deadline?
I think there is some a sense of urgency. I think, they would like to make a move sooner than later. For a number of reasons. One, you get more games with whoever you're going to try to bring in and solidify your lineup and your rotation. But it takes two to make a trade, and you got to find a good partner who's going to make a deal with you. And then, the other side of that is that for those teams that are sellers, it's in their best interest a lot of times to wait until the deadline gets closer, just because it puts them in more of a position of leverage and being able to make sure they're getting the best deal for themselves. So they're in a little bit of a tough spot there. I think everybody's feeling that from the front office on down, coaches, players. They say all the right things. I had some conversations last night with some people about just all the chatter and the trade talk around this team, just how disruptive that can be. And for the most part, they said, "No, we're it goes with the territory. We're pros. We're not thinking about that stuff." But they're also human beings,
sure.
And sometimes we forget that. These are their lives and their families and their homes and all these things, and it has to be weighing on the minds of at least a few of them.
Jason Anderson, SacB, joining us on the Drive, guys. Sactown Sports 1140. Jason, we had a discussion earlier, and it's something I noticed the last couple of games. Mike Brown, his guard rotation has been really short lately. Yeah. Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, and De'Aaron Fox. Only 3 guards in the Milwaukee game, only 3 guards in the Phoenix game. What do you make of that?
Well, he again, I think it goes back to him searching for answers and trying to find the right groups. I mean, we went for a while there. Of course, Alex Lynn was hurt at that time, but it was a lot of Chris Duarte and Keon Ellis and JaVale instead of Alex, and even Juan Toscano Anderson was getting some minutes there for a few games. And then, certainly these last couple, it's been very obvious that he has tightened it up. And now it's Malik, it's Trey, it's Sasha, it's Alex Lynn at the 5. He played 9 guys last night, and that was it. And I think the game before that, for quite a bit of the game, it was like 8 guys that he rolled with. Yeah. So, he's tightening things up. His comments last night were really interesting. I would encourage everybody. I put as much of that stuff as I could into my story because I thought him talking about how, they've faced certain matchup problems and things have been giving them trouble in the past and how they've got to figure it out because teams are going to keep doing this. They've done it to us before. They're going to do it again. I think his comments are really interesting. I don't want to overanalyze. He said what he said very clearly. But I do think you can read between the lines a little bit there sometimes. I think he feels like they need something. And I think a lot of people feel like they need something. Going back to my previous point, there are guys in that locker room who know they're looking, even if they're a good team, they're looking for ways to maybe upgrade it at 1 or 2 spots. It's starting to look like they may need to do that. I mean, they're 7th now. And I talked about this before the season. They could be as good or even a little better than last year and still win fewer games and or not finish as high in the standings just because teams around them get better. And we've seen that with like Minnesota and OKC and others. So that's kind of the situation they're dealing with. And if they want to stay up in the mix for home court advantage and at this point just being locked into an automatic bid, they're either going to have to find a way to be more consistent and more effective with the group that they have, or they're going to have to find a way to add to that before the trade deadline.
Very interesting, Jason. We appreciate it. Make sure you check out his story, all his stories on the Kings, SacB.com. See you tomorrow night. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Anytime, guys. Have a good day.
How about that? So some very interesting comments there from Jason Anderson. We will sift through those. Also, we'll look at the Kings and ask the question, did they lack leadership down the stretch last night?
Let's talk about that.
With the Drive Guys when we continue here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his former team.
What a pass and what placement from Sabonis.
It's the Kings and Pacers Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA Weather Center. Thursday morning starts with temperatures in the 40s and some areas of fog. That'll lift for some high clouds through the afternoon with a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper, also known as Drapes, here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. That's where I got my gorgeous black-on-black EQS SUV. I'll be honest, it's the most stunning car I've ever owned, and let me tell you why I love it. First of all, the minute you step inside, you feel like you're driving a luxury vehicle. Plus, I love the onboard navigation system, and I tell you what, my kids just love the front seat and rear seat heating option. You know how it is up here in Northern California. You got to have that during the winter. And of course, during the summer, you got to have seat cooling. Well, my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV has that as well. Go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They believe, guys, that when you buy the world's finest car, it should be an experience you'll never forget. It's the greatest car shopping experience I've ever had. They were tremendous. The ease of buying, they just made it super simple. It's just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off of I-5. And of course, you can always go online at mbofstockton.com.
Sactown Sports.
Thank you for being with us today. Thanks to Jason Anderson from the B for joining us. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Very interesting comments from Jason Anderson. I thought maybe I'd feel a little better about things after talking to him, but instead I feel more not confused, but just a little uncertain about what exactly is going on with the, it sounds like De'Aaron Fox is really struggling with things. I get the sense that the team, like so many fans, is just not sure why this year isn't going more like last year.
Yeah, 100%. But, one thing I took away from that conversation is he thinks the Kings are going to make a move.
Yeah.
And so these next 3 weeks, 22 days till the trade deadline, there's an old saying, when I was working in Boston, fans wanted fireworks. I don't know if we'll have fireworks here in Sacramento, but from listening to Jason, it's clear that the organization and those in control understand change has got to be made. We can't go the second half of the season like this.
Yeah.
And that's encouraging to me.
Yeah. If we don't have fireworks, maybe at least a couple boxes of sparklers.
Right.
Something like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he says that the Kings want to do something sooner rather than later. But of course, their hands are somewhat tied. If you have a team that, we like that, let's talk, and the other team wants to wait till close to the deadline, there's nothing you can do. But something's going to be done. If it's at all possible, the Kings are going to do something.
And as a fan base, that's what you want. You want Monty McNair to recognize the shortcomings of the roster and go out there and do something about it. Now, one thing that would alarm me or scare me or concern me is if he doesn't make a move. They always say, well, it takes two teams to tango. You got to have two teams to make a trade. And it's like, nah, I don't want to hear that, Monty. Get something done.
Mm-hmm.
This team, when you look at the landscape of the Western Conference, let's go down. We can talk about it, Whitey. We can have this discussion. When you look at where the Kings sit, they're 7th place right now. But I'm talking about this year, next year, going forward. Have the Minnesota Timberwolves passed the Kings?
Mm-hmm.
OKC.
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh, yeah. They've won a championship.
Clippers.
Yes. I saw them play last night. They're scary.
So at best, this year and going forward, the Kings, as presently constructed, are 5th. Let me throw in.
You agree, by the way?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Mavericks.
I'm not sure yet, but maybe.
Pelicans.
Well, hello. At least head to head. Yes, I'd say so.
Lakers?
No.
Okay. So at your best, everything's equal right now. As presently constructed, the Kings are the 5th best team.
Mm-hmm. If everything goes
well.
Everything
goes. That's not good enough.
I don't think so.
That's not good enough. Because when you look at OKC, they're a young team. Denver's not going anywhere. Jokic 28, I think he is. Anthony Edwards, He's not going anywhere. Minnesota, they're going to be there. Clippers are aging. Maybe they got 2 years or so, something like that. And but if I asked you this same question in April, Minnesota wouldn't be ahead of you. OKC wouldn't be ahead of you.
Right.
Clippers arguably wouldn't be ahead of you. So my point is, while we're trying to slow play this maybe, and, other teams are going for it and they're ahead of us right now. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so if you're Monty McNair, you have to say, I might not have the luxury of waiting 2 years. I got to go now. You got to strike while the iron's hot. And I know Monty's not going to be swayed by the Timberwolves or the Thunder, but we're talking about supremacy here in the Western Conference. We're talking about building a championship team. And that's the key word, building. This isn't just a plant. You throw some water on it, let it grow, and hope it's a championship team. No, look at Denver. They went out there and got Aaron Gordon. They didn't just say, you know what we got? The players we got, we're just going to let it grow. Yeah. No, they went out there and made a big move to get Aaron Gordon, a star level kind of player.
And they got Brown.
And they made moves. And so I think Monty has to make some moves this year.
I think it's possible that the team last year, they played so well because that group, and I know it's not exactly the same bunch of players here, but I think they realized their potential a lot quicker than maybe anybody thought they would.
Right.
So then all of a sudden it's like, wow, well, that group's as good as they can be. And so now it's like they're not going to be much better, and you have to be better. And so improvement within, you've probably maxed out on that other than the defensive end.
Right.
But they need, I think the logical way to look at it, trying to take the passionate fan view away, the emotion out of it, it's like the logical view of this team has to be, yes, they need to make a trade to improve. That's the only way you're going to improve right now.
Right. And you look at a team like Boston, for instance. They didn't just say, you know what, we're going to let it just grow. They still made moves.
Yeah.
They went out there and brought Al Horford back. They got Derek White.
Mm-hmm.
They went out there and got Drew Holiday. And so
Porzingis.
It's an ever thing. It's not just, all right, this is our group. We're going to let it grow and rock with it. No, there's some tweaks along the way. It's like cooking gumbo. What you know about gumbo, Jay? You don't just cook gumbo in the microwave for 10 minutes. No, you slow simmer it. You add some ingredients. Right. You got to add a plate. That roux. You got to throw some seasoning in it throughout. It's like making collard greens. I don't know if you ever made collard greens.
Come on,
you got to add some salt and pepper throughout the process. You got to add the ham hocks. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so right now, we got the main ingredient. We need to add some seasoning. We need to add some side dishes to what we have. It's something you got to keep tweaking. If you're Monty McNair, you can't just let it sit and ride. It's not a slow cooker. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. My fear is you may need another main ingredient. I don't know about that, but I agree with you. The rest of it, you may need, I don't know, something else to put in the
Right.
Some fish, maybe. I don't know.
We got the shrimp, crab.
We got the shrimp. Yeah.
Sausage in there.
Sausage. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We need to get that from somebody. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Doug on Sactown Sports. Hey, Doug, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hey, I'm going to be a lot nicer today, so I've gotten all that other stuff out of me. Okay? So there's too many moving pieces right now for us to be able to, for me to be in the mix. As you saw what happened today with how many first-round draft picks you got to give up, you're almost selling off your franchise to go in to be competitive. We're trying to solidify the pieces that we have already and say, hey, what do we got that we can move forward with? Well, we do have some draft picks, but then you're sticking your neck out there, and I hope that, Monty's right. And the fans here in Sacramento, I think that they're just loyal and loving and all that stuff, and they want a winner. They want to be part of, I want to talk about my team. I want to be where we have a chance to contend. And I don't blame them one bit. If you take those 4 games, you take Portland, Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Phoenix, and those are all wins, things are a little bit different. But guess what? That didn't happen.
Right.
So we have to find it from within to say, who's going to grab a hold of the horns and say, hey, you get on my back, ride me, and we're going to go to the promised land. So I'm hoping that there's somebody out there that Monty says, hey, this is worth going after. Or maybe it's not one piece. Maybe it's 2 medium pieces. or whatever it is. So that's all I got. Love the show, guys.
Thank you, Doug.
I hope and pray for our Kings and that we come out of this better, and then we can get ahead.
Appreciate it.
All right, Doug. Good stuff.
Don't you think, Mr. Draper, if Siakam had said, I'd like to go there, and I'm not promising anything, but I would be interested in talking about an extension, the Kings would have done the deal, right?
They would have
given
done the
up
deal.
a lot of draft picks.
They would. I think so, because when you look at it, we've talked about it with Indiana. You're not going to get a free agent to come in. You don't have the money to bring in a free agent. So how are you going to improve this roster? It's by way of trade, and you can't always play it safe. You can't always, I know you want, a surefire thing, but in terms of you got to upgrade the talent. We're talking about a championship, Whitey. We're not talking about making the playoffs. We're past that right now. We're talking about building a championship, and to build a championship, you need star-level talent. You need high-level talent. Monty, go out there and make a move. Let's go.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll get right back to the phones. Also, the Kings and a lack of leadership. Is that what we saw last night? That more next with the Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call, Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. A new year means new adventures. Take on any terrain behind the wheel of a new Toyota truck. Seize the great deals happening now at your local Toyota dealer and gear up for your next adventure. Right now, get low 3.99% APR on the legendary 2023 Tacoma, or get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra. Haul in the new year in a new Toyota truck. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium ready credit. Excludes TRD Pro. Ends 1/31/24.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The Red and Gold seem to be as healthy as ever entering their first playoff game this weekend, using the first-round bye to their advantage. Running back Christian McCaffrey returned to practice Tuesday, taking the last 2 weeks off to rest an injured calf. Additionally, Sacramento native Eric Armstead is back practicing with the team and expects to play in his first game since Week 13. San Francisco opens their 2024 postseason against Green Bay, fresh off a dominant win over Dallas.
Welcome the new year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's Indoor Potting Mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
2024 means it's time to start something new and save up to $20,000 off MSRP on a new 2023 Ram 1500 DT Crew Cab 4x4 Eco Diesel from Knight Elk Grove Dodge. During the Start Something New sales event, Knight Elk Grove Dodge has over 30 new 2023 Ram 1500 DT Eco Diesels, all up to $20,000 off MSRP in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovecdjr.com. MSRP $73,635, net price $53,590 after $9,000 dealer discount and $10,045 in rebates. NPN 537381 expires 1/31/24.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed this morning with a bone dry bottle of Jack.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
We just had a really interesting conversation with Jason Anderson. Just circling back to that for a moment before we get back to the phones. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Jason Anderson says you go to sacb.com, and I think we have this at sacktownsports.com as well. Mike Brown's comments from last night. Now, he didn't go on a rant like, in Milwaukee, which wasn't really a rant, but, he didn't go into some sort of, hey, the officials got it wrong. But Jason Anderson says Mike Brown was talking to the front office last night as he talked to the media, right? That's what,
that's what in
his opinion.
He was really
Mike Brown's talking to the media fans, but he's talking to the front office.
I need some help.
Pleading with them. Yeah. That's really interesting.
That is interesting, and I'll just say Monty was there, Vivek was there, Wes Wilcox. They all saw what transpired. And, I go back to a conversation we had about a month ago. What happened last night does not change my opinion on what this team needs. Like, before the game, they needed that. After the game, they needed an upgrade. And so Wes, Monty, and those guys, they got to see Paul. They got to see what we're all seeing. And that's why I would be shocked. I would be floored. I would be laid out if the Kings don't make some sort of trade before February 8th.
Yep. How about Ben? Can we talk to Ben here? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, Ben, you're on the Drive Guys. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Whitey.
Yeah.
Love you, man. Hey, big shout out to JJ too, though. I don't know if I can say much more about the other guys on the show, but
who's this Yahoo? That's Jay Rackham. Get him out of here, Jay. Hey, bang on this dude. Who is this Yahoo?
Don't hit me with the Rackham like Jim Rome, okay? Hey, the only thing I want to say about the whole thing with the Kings struggling recently and what I've seen with De'Aaron Fox, I missed you guys' segment before last, but I feel like he keeps going to that shot that he would always hit last year, that elbow or corner of the key jumper that he tried to hit, and it's just not been landing this year. And I don't know if you guys covered that or if that was something that you guys noticed as well. It's just that's been something that's been killing me because he was always hitting that shot last year, and now he's still pushing it, but he's not hitting it. I think that's a go-to shot for him, even though he's so fast he can get to the rim. And on top of that, I think that down the stretch, I think that we're just losing our fundamentals. It's just we're having a great 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden it's like it's getting down to crunch time, and all of a sudden it's we can't play defense, we can't do anything.
Yep. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, thank you for calling. We got a lot of calls I want to get to. Thank you very much. We can tell you, Jason Anderson says he suggests that De'Aaron Fox has not been 100% physically lately, which may contribute to that. But the other part about what Ben's discussing the Kings down the stretch gets back to a lack of leadership.
Yes.
Does it not?
Yeah. And De'Aaron was that leader last year. Like, how many times did he bail the team out or put him on his back? Caller said that earlier. Somebody said that earlier.
Enough to win the Jerry West Award.
Exactly. We're not seeing that as much. We're seeing Malik take his opportunities. We're seeing De'Aaron try last night, 3 of 8 in the fourth quarter. And so everything that, worked well last year, we talk about 50-50 balls in life, like everything bounced the Kings' way. De'Aaron hit every shot. He, was clutch. This year, it's not happening as much.
Mm-hmm. TC is back with us on Sactown Sports. What's up, TC?
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all know I'm back. What's going on, man?
TC, what's up with you, man? Hey, you better not be coming with no nonsense after last night, man.
Nah, listen, no, check it out. No, that was nonsense last night, man. After that 20-point blow, the boys, look, the band got a lot to work. Hey, the band got a lot to work with. Let me get you up this. Here we go, so y'all can hear me. Look, check it out. My takes from the game last night, starting with Mike Brown. I love Mike Brown. I'm not saying fire Mike or nothing. Mike is here to stay for lifetime. Get him in a lifetime contract. I love that dude. But as far as with his rotation and as far as running the team, bro, we have to work on that. We have to work on him and Jay Triano, Doug, Jordy. Those guys got to come with a conclusion. If when the three is not working, the whole paint to hit the paint and spray out to a shooter, when that's not falling, bro, we got to come up with, like, something else. We got to counter off that, like, okay, well, that's not falling. The shot's not falling. Let's go pick and roll. Or let's drive to the basket and try to draw fouls. Like, we got to start doing that. Like, Fox, get back to your mid-range, bro. Like, enough of the – I know your shot's been falling, but the whole, like, I just want to shoot nothing but threes, that has to stop. Seriously. The band to get together. Monty, if you're going to make a move, Monty, and get a guy in here that's going to come in here with the guys, and we can keep it pushing. Other than that, bro, the team has to stay focused. As far as leadership, we do need somebody. We need a guy that's going to speak up. Fox is, like, quiet. Sabonis is here and there. I see Monk doing a little more, but we need guys we need, like, a collective. We don't need, like, a one person like a Draymond. That would be nice, but we need, like, a team, like, everybody to be like, hey, everybody get back on track. Listen, check it out. We got a ball, bro. Like, that has to be like a team. One guy can't fix what's going on right now. This has to be a team collectively, like, hey, I'm coming together. We're coming together. I know we're brothers, but we're not playing good right now, bro. Like, if it's looking like somebody's going to fight, I don't want nobody to fight on the court or do none of that, but that's what I want to see. Like,
some fire. Yeah.
Mike, get this guy out the game. Put somebody in here that want to play. Like, that type of anger and that type of leadership, bro. That's what I'm looking for, man, as a diehard. I was mad at that game, bro. I'm still mad. I'm sweating everything, Drake.
TC, I feel you, man. I felt the same way, man. Good call, as always.
Yeah. We need some of that fire. By the way, to his point about the threes, and a lot of people say that, and it's true, but last night, the Kings shot 45% on their threes. Even in the fourth quarter, they made 4 of 8.
And they lost. That's unheard of. You shoot 45% from 3 and you lose, that's unfathomable. You make 18 threes and you lose. The problem is, because it wasn't the offense. You let Phoenix shoot 46% from 3-point range.
Yes.
Phoenix doesn't take a lot. They made 17 of them. And the problem, and I've said it earlier, said it yesterday, Sacramento, 29th in the NBA in 3-point defense. Why do you tell me? What's been the biggest advancement in basketball over the last 15, 20 years?
I would say, Mr. Draper, the increased accuracy in the 3 ball. I think, like 5 years ago, if you were 34%, you were top 100. And now I think you got to be like 38% or close to that to be. Yeah.
Exactly. So the thing that teams are hunting for, looking for, hoping for is what you defend the worst.
Yeah.
That has to change.
I would respectfully disagree with one thing you just said.
What did I say?
Well, you said it wasn't the offense. It wasn't the shooting, but the offense
down the stretch. Yeah. You're right.
Well, they shot the ball well.
You're right.
The offense, they turned the ball over too often. Let's see what Mitch is up to here.
My guy, Mitch.
Yeah, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. What's up, Mitch?
How you doing? Well, I'm doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
Everything's not working to get rid of this cold. So excuse me the way I sound.
Oh, you got a cold. Okay, that's all right.
It's bad. Nothing seems to work. Your body gets immune to all the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So my wife says, don't go to the doctor. She's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Well, after last night, I think the Kings need another scorer, maybe a fourth guy. Some of these teams, the West is so good, so deep. Okay, we got to be in the top 6. I don't like this playing games, to tell you the truth. And one more thing. I kind of wish we did what Indiana did, because that would be our 4th star. And these first-round picks, if you're not in the lottery, then they're just an asset. And we're making the playoffs. So it won't be a lottery pick.
Gotcha.
I think it should be worth the gamble. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mitch. Hope you feel better soon. He's right about the West, and I know I mentioned this, and then you probably didn't have time to watch last night. But after the Kings were over, I was watching Oklahoma City and the Clippers. Those teams are good.
They're good,
I know the
right?
Kings have handled OKC, but the Clippers right now, and they're all happy.
Right.
Harden saying, I hope we can all stay together. And Westbrook, and and Kawhi signing extensions, and well, I think now we can all stay together. It makes me sick. And they're really good too.
They are good, and they're not going anywhere. Us hoping that maybe they'll quiet or cool off. OKC's here to stay.
Yes.
I think Minnesota's here to stay this year. Clippers are here to stay. And so now Denver is going to be good. So now you basically have 2 spots, 5th and 6th, between the Mavericks, the Suns, the Lakers, the Pelicans, and I'll throw the Lakers in there also. So you got 2 spots. I'm talking in the top 6 for 5 teams.
We will take one more. Let's go to Paul real quick here on Sactown Sports. Hey, Paul. What's up?
Oh man. I guess you say make your next move be your best move on this one. They gotta make it happen, man. They gotta make a huge trade here. We know what they're missing. That we all know watching on TV. It's me personally. I feel like it's power and shooting guard. I don't know. Move Keegan to small forward and figure it out. They got to figure something out because what's going on here is it's horrendous. I mean, this is pretty bad. You don't give up that kind of those kind of points like that and miss free throws. You get paid to do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You get paid money to make free throws.
I hear your frustration. I hear it
too. I'm not laughing at you, but yeah, I gotcha.
And I think in another way to say this as well is that Fox has changed his game since last year too. We all noticed. Drapes, how many times did the Kings go to the free throw line last year? Were they up there in the percentage as far as going to the line?
I'd have to look at the numbers. I'd have to look at the numbers.
I believe they were. They had a lot of higher numbers going to the free throw line. I've noticed that's also declined quite dramatically. I don't know. Just things aren't right with things. But they have to go. They have to go hard or go home.
Gotcha, Paul. Thank you. And I don't mean to cut you off there, but we have to. Thank you very much. We'll check those numbers for you when we come back. Mike Brown called it a learning experience. So. What can anybody learn from what the Kings did last night? Next year, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refunds belong to me.
Using the power of Tax Slayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use Tax Slayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Buy the latest gear, meet the experts, learn about fishing, hunting, boating, and off-roading. See Toyota's all-new Tacoma. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In the shag bag, if you want to become better at golf, maybe consider moving to the southern parts of the United States. According to the USGA, 8 out of 10 states with the lowest average handicap are situated either along or near the country's southern border. Lowest handicap is Mississippi with an average of 11.6. California comes in 35th with average handicap of 17.1. Where do you fit? Want to gain another 20 yards off the tee? Move up another set of tees. Don't let your ego get in the way. Each of us can only hit the ball so far. If you're not reaching the par fours in 2 shots, go ahead and move up a tee. You'll make more pars and a birdie or two, and your enjoyment will go up twofold. Meredith Lebeck, Director of Player Development at Granite Bay, says you can sharpen your putting skills by playing a game similar to horse on the putting green. Each person putts with the person closest to the hole winning and the others in the group getting the first letter, such as a G in the word golf. Spell golf, and you're out. Try it. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports.
When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you right body
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
And then on top of the tough shots and the inability to score in the paint and or spray the ball at the right time, we just kept turning it over. We had some bad turnovers. I thought we were really lazy a couple of times with the ball instead of making sure we were passing on time, passing on target, 2 hands, and it was just a recipe for what happened. And hopefully it'll be something that we can learn from in the future, because we're going to face teams that go small and put a small guy on Domas.
Learn from. Yeah, throw that recipe away. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's Drive Guys here. We have the smartest listeners, smartest viewers on radio, on YouTube. Case in point, we just heard from Paul. And he was pleading with you, Drapes, did we have better free throw numbers last year? Paul's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right. Last year, we were number 7 in the association in free throws attempted at better than 25 per game. This year, we're 22nd in free throws attempted, 21.9. So almost a 4 free throw per game differential. Although De'Aaron Fox's numbers are just up a slight tick. But the problem with De'Aaron Fox is while he's taking more free throws, last year he shot 78%. This year, 72%.
Yeah. Last year, the Kings were 12th in the, as you say, association and free throw percentage. This year, as we know, 30th. Why? It's not like they got rid of a bunch of their best.
Right. It, guys, like High Flyer said, it's focus. You got to lock in and make them when you're up there. Focus in.
Mm-hmm. So what could anybody have possibly learned from that? Obviously, Mike Brown, I think, well, in my opinion, a lot of that is coach speak. He's not really going to tell us what he's really thinking. I guess on some level you think he's talking about himself. Players, we will learn from that. You lose a lead like that and you face some of those things that we don't see a lot defensively, will be better next time around. I guess that's what he's saying, right? That's the point. You know, Durant said, well, we pressured Domas. We switched so many screens, made them play one-on-one. They're a team that likes to play a free-flowing movement offense. So when you can disrupt that, they turn into a different team, said Kevin Durant.
Here's my point, and I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to raise this question, and I want to know what people out there think on the YouTube chat, 916-339-1140. In a game like last night, you heard the words Whitey just said from Kevin Durant. We pressured Domas, and we switched. Read that for me again?
Sure. They are a team that likes to play a free-flowing movement offense. So when you can disrupt that, they turn into a different team. We pressured Sabonis a little bit more. We switched so many screens and made them play one-on-one.
Which happens late in ball games. We saw it with Golden State last year. You see it in the playoffs. Sometimes you need guys that can go out there and get a bucket. This is where my Zach LaVine love comes in at. Not saying that he's a perfect fit or that contract.
Yeah, all good.
But in the NBA, you need tough shot makers. When the system bogs down, like it did last year during Golden State, you need guys that can get you a bucket. Sacramento needs more guys like that. And that's why I think, for me, Zach LaVine could help you out in that regard. One of the best tough shot makers in there. He said Durant forced him into ISO ball. We don't have ISO ball players. That's not our MO. But I think at times, you look at the best teams in the Western Conference. Heck, the best teams in the NBA. I'll pull up the standings right now. Let's start with the Western Conference. Would you say Anthony Edwards is a good isolation player?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Leader of that team. Would you say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a good isolation?
I think he's pretty good, Drapes.
Would you say, Denver's a little different? Would you say Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you need guys that can just go out there and get a bucket, who don't rely on the system. We got a couple of guys that can do that. But I think we need to, a Zach LaVine, and I understand he's making a ton of money. Throw the money out. I'm just talking from a player perspective. We need guys where we say, you know what? Shot clock's at 7. Make something happen. We don't have that. We don't have many guys like that.
I thought the Kings had 2 guys that tried to do that last night.
Yes.
And they were not able to, and they ended up disrupting the offense even further. I'd also say this, and I mentioned I was talking to Jerry Reynolds today, and Jerry's been, he's been a coach forever at all levels. He says, I just think sometimes you need to have the option of a little structure. There's times when you want to run a play. You want to be able to run a play. I'm sure the Kings have some, but it would have been nice last night down the stretch. Like, hey, we're going to run something here.
Right.
Right. Instead of just.
Maybe a Malik Sabonis pick and roll or something like that. Or, yeah, you're right about that. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The criticism of Mike Brown last night you had. I don't think the players performed well in that fourth quarter. And I don't think the coaching was as best as it could be.
No.
Like, and if you're Mike Brown, you probably look at it and say, darn, I wish I would have did this differently or something. It's a lot of second guessing. Obviously, he did what he did in the moment.
And let's be honest, maybe that's why he seemed a little defensive when and you weren't trying to do it, but maybe he felt a little bit like, I wasn't at my best last night.
Right. And so I don't know, man. Like, as great as coaching is, ultimately you got to have the players too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Malik Monk tried to get in his one-on-one bag, but that's not necessarily Malik. He doesn't have the size. That's why I say a guy like Zach LaVine, and people are on the YouTube chat, oh, he makes too much. Why are you worried about money? Why are you worried? It's not like the Kings are going to go out there and get 3 guys for Zach. Like, the money is the money. If Vivek's okay with paying it, if the ownership group is okay with paying it, why should we be worried about that? I mean, we're about to re-up De'Aaron Fox to a massive extension.
Mm-hmm.
We already did DeMontis Sabonis to a massive extension. When you look at the NBA, man, you got to pay to play. Look at the Warriors. Look at all the contending teams, man. They got big money contracts out there.
Yep. Yeah, at this point, after losses like last night, let's face it, that was pretty unique in some ways. But, those losses where you just feel like, oof.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of those for different reasons. After those losses, I feel like I don't care who they get. Get somebody.
Get somebody.
I just feel like there's such an aching need for something more. This team is just not going to get better unless they do make a trade.
Do you think Matisse Thybulle moves the needle enough? Or do we need, after watching last night, upper-level talent? Guys that could get you 20, 25 a night.
I think if you get a lesser guy, you need 2 lesser guys. Not to dodge your question. You know what I mean? You get a big fish, fine. If you get Matisse Thybulle, then I think you need, if you're really going to address things, you need another guy like that as well. I don't know. But you're definitely better with him. Just how much better?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a great, and Beamley says Thybulle would help. And yes, he would help.
Yes.
No doubt about it. He would help. But to Kevin Durant's quote, he said, we switched everything. We pressured Domas, forced him into one-on-one. We don't have elite one-on-one players outside of De'Aaron Fox.
Can Thybulle, can he play 3 at all?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Depending on the matchup.
Sure.
That kind of thing. But I think he could play some 3. Because here's the thing. Let's say the Celtics, for instance. Jaylen Brown is their 3 a lot of times. And so can he match up with Jay? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why not?
Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you bring in, but see if you get Zach LaVine, that's probably it, right? As you pointed out.
Right. That's it. That's your move, I don't know. And that's why this trade deadline is so critical for Monty, because we've been talking about it for 2 or 3 months, and we still have yet to come on a consensus. What do the Kings need? Well, they need high-level talent. Well, they need a 4-man. Well, they need bench help. Well, they need another point guard. We need a 3-and-D guy. We could go a number of different ways. And so Monty, will have options on how he wants to construct it. Here's what we know. He got to get it right, though.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, Monty, you got to get this one right.
My take on that has always been 2 things. A bigger guard who can defend, and I'm not even thinking starter, but an off guard that can defend. And if you could do other things, great. And a 3-and-D wing. And if you could get 2 of those guys and neither one of them's a star, I think you've really improved yourselves. But those are the 2 things to me. To your point, they need a backup big. What do they need? Here's a guy. We talked about him yesterday. I was talking about this player with my brother yesterday, today, and with Jerry Reynolds. DeAndre Hunter. We talked about him yesterday.
Yes,
it's a good fit right there. Good fit.
Good fit. Kind of long, athletic. To me, still has a lot of upside.
He defends and he can make 3s.
Yeah.
He is literally a 3-and-D guy.
No, you're right. I would take DeAndre Hunter in a minute. And if you're Atlanta, you're not going anywhere fast. Maybe it's time to hit the reset button in Atlanta, acquire a bunch of draft picks, some young talent or something like that. But I would, and Wes Wilcox used to work for the Hawks organization, so he's got, deep ties there. That would be a player I kick the tires on for sure.
Mm-hmm. And as we found out earlier today, I think Mark Stein had it. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe you saw this already. Harrison Barnes apparently is a guy that the Rockets have interest in. So we've been trying to figure out how something could fit there. Doesn't look like a good match. Doesn't look like Houston would have anything available that the Kings would want. But it's pretty clear. That's one of the things that we learned from last night. And I know your point, Kyle. You're saying, look, we didn't learn anything. We knew what the Kings needed. To me, it just, okay, maybe we knew it, but it really further underscores the urgency that something has to happen. Now, you can't keep squandering these games and then expect to be in the position you want to be in at the end of the regular season in this freaking Western Conference.
No, you're right, man. And it's sort of like a situation where, you know, you're cooking up a dish and you put some salt. Man, all right, it tastes good. Then you go back, I need some more. Like, we keep going back. We know what we need, and we keep getting reminded, we need, 2-game win streak, 3-game. It doesn't matter because this team keeps reminding us of its shortcomings, and we're talking about building the championship now. We're talking about competing for a championship, and moves need to be made.
All right, without a major move, what is this team's ceiling? Time for some real talk. We're right back with that. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs continues Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the AFC's top seed Baltimore Ravens as they look to back up the league's best record when they host the upstart Houston Texans.
Then the 49ers start their postseason as they host the Green Bay Packers. Texans and Ravens at 1:30, Packers and 49ers at 5:15.
The NFL playoffs right here on your home for Super Bowl 58, Sactown Sports.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I shared this number earlier with Chris and Alan. I think Chris already knew it. This just really speaks to how much the NBA has changed since last year when the Kings were the team of the year, right? I didn't know this, Kyle. Maybe you knew it. Maybe you knew it, dear listener Jay. Last year, we know the Kings had the highest offensive rating of all time, right? Like 118.6.
Yes.
Not only number one in the league, highest anybody's ever posted. This year, going into play tonight, there are 7 teams right now with a higher offensive rating
than what they had last year.
When they set the record last year. Yeah. Indiana, Milwaukee, Boston, OKC, Philly, the Clippers, and Denver. And the Kings right now sitting at 14th in offensive rating. Just shows you how much things have changed.
Yeah, and scoring is – an offense is at such a high right now.
And it continues, yeah.
And it continues. And I wonder, and I need to do the research. Maybe I'll have this for tomorrow. Because we've talked about where you need to be defensively. Maybe not top 5, but if you're middle of the pack. But where do you need to be offensively in the NBA to win a championship? I would like to go back and look at the offensive rating of, let's say, the last 10 NBA champions.
Yeah. One of the things you talk about a lot is, numbers can be deceiving. Yeah. And I feel like that's the case with some of the numbers that we've all thrown around on the Kings defensive rating this year. I think there have been a number of times when we've looked like, they're up to, I think they might have been up to 13th at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is not a good defensive team, right? In my opinion, this is clearly not a good defensive team.
Well, here's the thing.
Check out the
I'm looking at the stats right now. Sacramento 17th in defensive rating. So to me, that means how many points you give up over 100 possessions. 115.9. What stands out to me defensively is that, as I continue to look at these numbers, and I talked about it earlier, you can't be a good defensive team. You can't be, in my opinion, a middle-of-the-pack defensive team when you are defensively the 29th ranked three-point defense. Like, three-point defense is a huge part of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It's like protecting the paint. Like, if you're the worst team at protecting the paint, can you really be a good defense? Same thing with three. If you're the worst team at guarding the three, I don't care what the defensive rating says, can you really be considered?
You're vulnerable in a
You're
very key
vulnerable
area.
in a very key area. It's like having the top defense, but you're dead last in the run in the NFL. Like, I don't know, so forget.
Good point.
Let's forget about the defensive rating. Let's look at the key areas of today's NBA. And three-point shooting is huge when it comes to that. 29th in the NBA in three-point shooting. Defense.
Yeah, and the Suns took advantage of that last night. The question was, before we went to break, what's the ceiling for this team if they don't make a major move? From, let's see, we have Amadrock here. Says, with the current roster, this team is a solid 6 or 7 team in and out of the play-in. Well, I mean, that is where they are right now, right? They're 7th. My fear is that if you do nothing, that it seems like the rest of the conference is starting to hit their stride and maybe getting better when you're kind of spinning your wheels a little bit. Maybe that's just I'm overreacting to this road trip that was so gut-wrenching, but that's my fear.
Well, and those fears are valid because when you look at it, we can look at the standings and say, all right, who can the Kings definitively beat in the playoffs? Because we're talking about their ceiling. It's not about regular season. It's about what you can do in the playoffs. So right now, the Kings are 7th. Would you pick them in a playoff series against the Pelicans?
Nope.
Mavericks?
Maybe. I'd sure want to. I can't
Clippers?
Stand the Mavericks. No.
Nuggets?
No.
Timberwolves?
No, probably not.
OKC? I know we've beaten them.
I said before the season started that the Kings would be 5 and OKC would be 4 and the Kings would beat them. So I have to stand by that just because I said it before the season started.
Okay.
But I understand your point.
Phoenix in a playoff series. Phoenix, Booker, Durant, Beal.
I don't know.
We can't definitively say it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we just named 4 teams that we have definitively said can beat the Kings in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, when we talk about the ceiling right now, it's probably advanced to the second round.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah. That's if everything.
That's if everything goes right. You hit your stride. Or if you're Monty McNair, do you go out there and make a move in your ceiling? Because you look at the Lakers.
Raise that ceiling.
Raise that ceiling. Look at the Lakers last year, Whitey. This time last year, they were left for dead. They went out. Rob Pelinka made some moves, and that ignited them. They made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Why can't the Kings do that same thing? It's not like the Lakers mortgaged the farm or gave away young talent or blew it up or anything. Rob Pelinka made some stealth moves and brought in guys that maybe weren't, 25-point per game scorers, but they fit in what you're doing. Maybe that's the route Monty McNair goes.
Get me Rui. Then I want
Would
Rui.
you like Rui?
Yes,
I would love
Rui.
Hachimura. High motor guy, defense. He was key for them last season, the Lakers.
Yeah.
I would love Rui Hachimura here.
Oh, boy. We got to take a timeout. We'll get right back to the phones. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And we'll look at how close the Kings came to having a great road trip. Next, Drive Guys Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA Weather Center. Thursday morning starts with temperatures in the 40s and some areas of fog. That'll lift for some high clouds through the afternoon with a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center, January 26th to the 28th. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Great Clips. Visit monsterjam.com today.
Grab the keys to a new, fuel-efficient Toyota. Head into the new year with more peace of mind and Toyota's legendary reliability. Get to your local Toyota dealer today and shop Toyota's entire lineup of 16 hybrid and electrified vehicles to choose from. Right now, get low 1.99% APR plus $2,500 bonus cash on the all-electric 2023 BZ4X. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-ready credit ends 1/31/24.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85 or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
The Triad Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow we'll be coming to you from the Golden One Center. Kings getting ready for the Indiana Pacers. It's funny because I was thinking, they just made the trade for Siakam, so they're not going to have much of a roster. And you said the same thing Chris Watkins said when I mentioned that to him. Like, yeah, but the Kings
right
against those short-handed teams. And I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it shouldn't be about who's coming into your building. It should be about what you have, what you're bringing. And, we talked about it all throughout this season. I'm sure Chris Watkins talked about it as well. Without Tyrese, without some of the guys they traded away, it creates opportunity for other players. Other guys are looking to make their name. And so that if I'm the Kings, you got to make a statement tomorrow. After the last 2 losses, you got to make a statement.
Mm-hmm. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Real quick, the Kings came so close to having, let's face it, they came so close to having an absolutely great road trip. They came so close to having a great, absolutely just one for the ages.
Look, you lose by 1 to Milwaukee and lose by 2 to Phoenix. You're 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
Free throws away from having a great road trip.
Maybe there's a saving grace there. Maybe, it's better that you get a truer sense of what you actually have before the deadline. I don't know. Let's go to Rich here on Sactown Sports. Hey, Rich, you're on the drive, guys. What's up?
Pretty good, guys. Enjoy your show. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Had a couple of comments, a little different perspective on the Kings situation, some food for thought. I say that it's the coaching. And I know Mike Brown has been, and I'd like to consider this. Mike Brown walked into a situation where things gelled last year. The West was weak. It was a weak year for the West. Fox and Sabonis gelled. They played excellently. The Kings got eliminated by the Warriors, and I thought Mike Brown did a poor job of coaching in the 7th game, not playing Davion and allowing Curry to go off. Okay, that, and then we jump to this season. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys getting trounced and you look at the Eagles getting trounced, the first thing that they talk about is Sirianni in Philly or the coach in Dallas being on the chopping block. When the Kings do bad, it's always the players. I say that Jordi Fernandez, if he is the defensive coach, is doing a horrendous job. It can't be that these guys, being great athletes, can't learn defense. There's some flaw in their offense that doesn't allow them to get back quick enough. I heard Henry Turner say he watched the Kings, and after a shot, they go to the 3-point line where a team like New Orleans converges on the basket. I heard Matt Barnes today talk about how come nobody came up with a set play last night to slow the game down. Again, coaching. I say that Mike Brown is a fairly good coach, but I'd say that he deserves blame. And if you bring another player in and plug him into this system, you're not going to have success. It's the system is definitely at fault, and to completely ignore that, I think, is to ignore the elephant in the room.
All right. Hold on now. Hold on.
By the way, Mike McCarthy is sticking around. Thank you for the call.
Sticking around.
Mike McCarthy is still going to.
Is that what we're doing now? We're going to start throwing shots at our guy Mike Brown? Like that, the way he made it sound, it wasn't just a 1-game problem. He made it sound like going back to the playoffs.
Yeah,
he made it sound like, Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, they gelled last year. Well, there's a reason why. Are we really going to do this now? Are we really? Go ahead, Whitey. I'm sorry.
No. It's understandable that people feel that way, but I think there's a fundamental issue with Rich's argument. Like I said, it's understandable people feel that way. I don't agree with it. We said earlier, we think the Kings will be lucky if Mike Brown's a coach for a long time. But I think we both said, last night probably wasn't his greatest coaching job. But here's the thing, to Rich's idea that there's something fundamentally wrong with the offense that prevents them from playing defense. This is basically the system the Warriors ran when Mike Brown was there. They were a great defensive team.
They were a great defense. Yeah.
The difference is they have better players playing defense. So I, again, appreciate the call and the kind words, but I just don't buy that at all.
Not buying it. And, I had a chance to talk to Ron Adams, Ron, assistant coach, defensive guru. And he said, in today's NBA, you need 3-and-D guys. You need two-way players. The problem is those just don't grow on trees. And so, you're working with what you got. We had Jason Anderson on, and we talked about Mike Brown maybe hopefully sending a message to Monty, talking to Monty. Like, you don't think Mike Brown would, 1, two-way players, a roster full of two-way players.
Yeah, they made the playoffs last year as a 4 seed in there. And right now, I know we would like him to be out of the play-in, but Mike Brown has been there for that's good.
Right.
That's not something where you want to get rid of the coach.
I mean, if Kings fans are talking about getting rid of Mike Brown or he's the problem, is that what we're really like? This is the unanimous coach of the year. He changed the culture of the franchise. And here we are 23-17 and talking about the coaches. Come on, we got to be better than that. That's terrible.
Ramsey joining us here at Sactown Sports. Hello, Ramsey. What's up?
What's good, gentlemen? I wanted to go back to something you were talking about earlier. It had nothing to do with sports. It's that food talk we had, right? Talking about, especially the collard greens. I know you sport, but a lot of people don't dig on swine. You got to throw some turkey tails in there, like Jay said. And the turkey is a better flavor.
Really? All right, I'm gonna try the turkey. I'm gonna try the turkey next time.
You've got to try it in your greens. Try it in your green beans when you make them. Try it in the black eyed peas.
Okay.
You got me thinking back to a couple weeks ago in New Year's when I made some.
That's funny, man. Because you that was like an hour ago, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna call in and make sure Drapes knows you got to get the turkey up in there. That's good stuff.
Thanks, Ramsey. You sign off on that, Jay?
Oh, absolutely. You got to have a turkey neck.
Okay.
Little smoked turkey action in there. Ramsey even talked about the turkey tails. I'm not a turkey tail guy, but I don't cook collard greens. I don't cook the black eyed peas. That's for Big Mama. That's for Grams. That's for the wifey. So I stay back out of the kitchen. But yeah, I enjoy a little turkey in that, a little smoked turkey.
All right, I'm gonna give that a shot.
How about Ken? Ken joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hey, Ken, thanks for hanging. What's up?
Thanks a lot, guys, for taking my call.
I'm guessing you're not. I'm guessing you're not in a great frame of mind after last night, Ken.
I'm not in a great frame of mind, but I couldn't disagree more with the caller a couple of calls ago when he was talking about is Mike Brown's fault.
Yeah.
Mike Brown doesn't shoot free throws. Mike Brown is not responsible for 4 turnovers in a 22-point comeback. The Kings get careless. They play with their food. They throw the ball away, and they don't do the little things necessary. Quite frankly, I'm not panicking because I've seen enough from this team, and when they're playing right, they can compete with anybody. The thing that frustrates me is when they get careless and they give games away. Because those 2 games they just given away, it's like you were right. That could have been a fantastic road trip. 4-1, you beat Phoenix and Milwaukee on the road, but you come back and you give those games away. To me, and I keep talking about this, for this team to take the next step, it's those things they have to do that's going to determine whether they take the next step. Because whether people know it or not, you take a look around, those older teams, Golden State has fallen off. The Lakers are falling off. The Clippers are on their last leg. They're playing great. Phoenix, I'm not that impressed with them. They can't guard anybody. So really the competition for the Kings in the West is going to be the Oklahoma Cities, the New Orleans, the Minnesotas.
Yep.
They got to be consistent to play against those teams, because if they're not, they're going to be looking at 20-point blowouts every single time. And I'll go back and I'll say it again. You cannot make free throws. It is absolutely insane to have your point guard shooting 72% from the free throw line. You wouldn't go for that in college. You can't have it in the pros. And until we get better at that, as much as everything, go back and look at the Kings free throw shooting down the stretch last night. They missed free throws that inevitably could have been the difference in the game. Those little things that they do, and you're talking about bringing somebody in, unless he shoots free throws and plays better D, he's not going to make a difference to the team.
Yeah.
So
got to play better D.
It's internal. It's got to be internal, get better at what we're doing. We make those corrections, we can get right back to where we was. And on top of everything else, last year going into All-Star game, we were 7 games over 500. Right now, we're over 6. We're at 6. I think we're okay. We just got to clean up on the stupid mistakes and play better down the stretch and do the little things, so we'll be all right.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that as always. Yeah.
Can I shoot back at that real quick?
Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah. The only thing is and about 98% of what Ken is talking, I'm with it. The only thing is you guys have acclimated to today. People around the Kings have gotten better. This ain't the Clippers of last year when we was going into the break, and the difference of it is the Kings last year heading into the All-Star break, it wasn't so much of a roller coaster ride as we've seen.
Right.
Like right now, I mean, we had choose your theme park. We've been it's that right now this year. And so I think that's where you're kind of getting some of the people like Rich, who was before him, who's calling out some other things. The other thing, real quick, I'm not saying anything about Coach Brown because I don't think it's that. I agree with what Ken just said. But can we start to question at all if Jordy Fernandez is the defensive guru on this team? Can we start to question, well, maybe his system doesn't work with these players and we have to interchange, not saying get rid of Coach Jordy, but maybe he has to take on the consideration of, and I don't know this, Drapes, you may be able to answer this, and I haven't heard this question coming through when we've had Coach on, but maybe his system might have to change. Like he might be a run and shoot guy or a press guy, but maybe he needs to fall back into a zone guy to protect some of the players that he has.
I would say this before Kyle shares his expertise. Jordy may be running the defense, but Mike Brown is a defensive coach too. So it's not just all.
But is he really doing the scouting anymore?
Well, all I know is they brought in players to fit a system. They're not necessarily forcing the system on players, right, Kyle? I mean, they knew what kind of defense they wanted to run.
Yeah, and here's the thing about the defense. We've seen it in spurts. We've seen it in flashes. We can't talk, Jay, about what happened in the fourth quarter without also acknowledging what happened in the first half when they were playing great defense. If you watched them last night, their defense was tremendous in that first half. And so I think what you need to do is probably upgrade the talent defensively. Bring in better individual defenders. But right now, I'm not going to necessarily question the system because we've seen it in small doses work. Like, he didn't change the defensive strategy or anything second half. It worked in the first half. Now, sure, they went small in the fourth quarter, and then you make some adjustments, and you can question Domantas Sabonis having to blitz guys and then playing 4-on-3 on the back end. You can question that. But you're making sweeping overstatements when we've seen – go back to that loss against the Warriors in the playoffs. It wasn't the defense that failed him. Sure, Steph went off in Game 7. He had one of those, All-American, all-time great moments. But their defense was actually pretty good in the playoffs. And so I just think, man, guys just got to be better.
I think it's a fair point, but I think bottom line is on this roster, and we don't need to name names, there's a handful of guys that play a lot that are poor defenders. There's no system around that can make up for that. Right. And I'll just say Harrison Barnes is probably one of the better defenders on the team. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And he's not what he was. My point isn't to denigrate him. It's to say, here's a guy that's not what he was defensively. He's one of the better defenders on the team. So it's not a matter of system. It's a fair question, but the answer is,
I hear what Jay's saying. It's something that can be discussed, but ultimately I don't think that's it. The Suns shot 43% in the first half. Turned the ball over 11 times. The defense was there in the first half. It's just hard to sustain 48 minutes, and that's what we're seeing from Sacramento. They aren't able to sustain the high levels of play that we'd like to see.
Yeah, and then to Ken's point, when you go brain dead on your half-court offense, you put more pressure on your defense. All goes hand in hand. Anyway, thanks for the calls. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Hey, Emil and Nate are going to join us. We're getting ready for the return of the Empire, and I know you love talking 49er football.
Oh, I can't wait, especially my favorite guy, Emil. Can't wait.
That's next year at Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports, and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA Weather Center. Thursday morning starts with temperatures in the 40s and some areas of fog. That'll lift for some high clouds through the afternoon with a high near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it. Feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo. Bring the family and discover your next adventure. Buy the latest gear, find the best destinations, learn from the experts in fishing and hunting. On the weekend, visit the Giant Youth Fair, free entry for youth 15 and under. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
49er faithful ride with me. Letting go, put it to the day at D.I.E. Let the Niner gang in it's all
The Five Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot of basketball today, but of course, Saturday night, it's on the 49ers and the... That's cute. The Green Bay Packers.
My Green Bay Packers, baby.
Yeah.
Yours. Nah.
We're getting
any
ready.
team going against the Niners. That's my squad.
That's just being a hater.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Emil and Nate joining us. Emil and Nate, as we get ready for the return of the Empire. Yeah, he hitched his wagon, but good to the Packers yesterday.
Yeah. Would you root for the Cowboys too if they were up against the Niners?
Now that's hard.
Yeah.
That's really difficult because you guys know as well as I do. Cowboys fans are insufferable. Like
You used to be one.
I used to be,
Good
but
point.
I was a quiet one though. I wasn't waving the flag.
Quiet. You were a quiet fan.
Yes, dude. I
Really?
wasn't always like this, man. And I just do this to get a rise out of you guys. I'm not really into it. You know, I'm not. You know, if the Niners win,
really. That's
it's good. It's good for radio. It's good for radio,
I
man.
like when I get a rise out of you.
Nah, you never do, bro. You never stay at the kids' table, big fella.
We should ask Sabrina about that one.
Oh man. All right, what we got?
Yeah, well, I'm wondering what
going
concerns you guys the most here. Is it Brock Purdy playing in the wet weather potentially, or is it Mark Chmura saying that the Packers need to go after Brock?
Emil says the weather's not a problem.
It's kind of shifting back and forth.
Is it?
Just cloudy right
For
now.
Brock, like if it's raining, that's what you said to me before the show, right?
I think it's overblown. Honestly, I really do.
Uh-huh.
Cleveland weather is different weather.
Are you eating something?
No.
Yes, you are, dude. What
Yeah,
are you
what are
doing,
you
man?
talking
What
about?
are we doing?
That's not very
on ice.
professional.
That's
Oh,
on
okay.
ice.
That's
All
not
right.
very professional. Oh my goodness!
You caught me mid ice.
Oh my! I thought I was
chewing
the
on ice?
professional one.
I'm a huge ice chewer. I don't know why.
Heck,
I always have been. Always have been.
Yeah.
I see
Chamorro. what you have to put up with now in your pod.
Yeah, it's a battle.
It's a mess.
He's a real battle axe. This guy.
Battle axe.
I go off on rants. Oh yeah.
So this is like Bountygate 2.0.
Oh yeah, it's worse. It's worse. I'm taking it to heart, Whitey.
Oh my gosh.
I keeps me up at night.
Uh-huh.
No, this guy. I mean, it's just a stupid thing to say. He even acknowledges it, and there's a couple things going on. Like ESPN Milwaukee, they tweet out this segment. It's like a minute and a half.
Yes.
All these people get upset.
Mhm.
They leave it up all day. Clearly, they're looking for blood. They want the clicks. They got over. I produced the midday show today with Alan and Chris.
Yeah.
They got over 1 million impressions in the midday show. So that's what you're looking for is you sell impressions, right?
Right.
Like ask all the salespeople downstairs. They're looking for impressions to sell. They're looking for likes. They're looking for interaction, and that's what they're getting. This is just some tight end who played for the Packers. I don't know. Was he like a pretty prominent?
No, he was good. Yeah,
he was good.
He was a big part of what they did.
Yeah.
He was he's no stranger to headlines. I'll say that. But he said a 15-yard penalty, and I don't condone this, but I kind of do in the playoffs. 15-yard penalty for a late hit on Brock Purdy. It's not a bad thing as long as it's worth it.
Yeah. So what makes it worth it? That's just hurting him.
Get Sam Darnold in the game. You know, knock him out. Like
Darnold might be able to beat the Packers, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not. What?
I have some breaking news.
What you got?
Okay.
This is per Eric Branch, the San Francisco Chronicle. Trent Williams, regardless of what happens in this playoff, will be back for season 14 next year.
Really? Wow.
That's
massive.
Squashed that today. Talking media.
I was feeling this was it.
I was as well.
All right.
There was that thing with Kelsey too, where the reports came out he retired, and then I saw he was on McAfee today.
Oh, was he?
And
What'd
I saw a headline that he's. I didn't read it, but the headline was that was false info. And he hasn't made a decision yet.
So he said he's not retiring.
Yeah.
He's like
Kelsey said
he's gonna talk to his wife.
Really?
Yeah. So that's kind of.
He basically said on his podcast as well. You don't make the decision with the emotions right after that game. You have to take time and think about it. So he's still thinking about certain stuff.
I thought he kind of made the decision going in to this season. I thought he kind of had it figured out.
Similar with Trent, like this was kind of it.
Yeah.
Well, what can you guys tell us about what you have coming up today on the special edition, playoff edition of Return to the Empire?
So we're going to recap Wild Card. We're going to talk about how the games weren't really that great. We got some numbers on how it did, Nielsen numbers or whatever, with Peacock and stuff. Which surprised how the Chiefs and Dolphins did, considering that it was only on Peacock, and I didn't think anyone in the world had Peacock.
Guy. Okay.
All right.
I like The Office. Okay. It's all right.
But we got that. We got. We did when the preseason was going on. Right before the preseason, we did these sticky notes like TNT does.
Oh yeah.
Where they write them down. They put them up for
and all that.
So we did that kind of as the season was developing early on. So we're gonna recap what we got right, what we got wrong. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them I botched. I'll leave it. But if you want to hear, so we got that, and then of course previewing Niners Packers. You know, the line I've seen move quite a bit.
What is it now?
I've seen it open up 10.5, saw it go as low as 8, and now I'm seeing 9.5.
That's
All
about
right.
right.
all over the place.
Looking forward to that.
That
Yeah.
10-point tease is just staring you in the face.
We got to run to give you guys time to do your pod. Kyle, see you tomorrow at the
At Golden One,
Center.
yes.
Yeah,
Big
stick
game
around.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Have a good call.
Return of the Empire with Emil Natus next right here. Sactown Sports.
To my Levi G, and we run over the league with our whole team. Be that number one